You're about to watch another exciting episode of the Dungeon Run, but did you know that you can actually be part of the adventure? Tune in live on Wednesday nights at 6 p.m. Pacific time, and you can make your voice heard and help determine the fate of our adventurers. Hope to see you there.
Greetings and welcome to The Dungeon Run, a live tabletop role-playing game where your interactions help tell the tale. I am Lord Ereban, the Keeper of Secrets, and I have brought these adventurers together and set them on an epic quest to decide the fate of the world. When they found my amulet, it gave them the key to unlock the mysteries of Ain and allowed them to communicate with you, the Watchers of the Time Stream. Now you have the power to help or hinder them as you see fit. If this is your first episode, fear not. Our Dungeon Master will catch you up on everything you need to know to jump right in. And you can always watch past episodes by visiting our YouTube or listen to the audio version by searching for The Dungeon Run wherever you get fine podcasts. The Dungeon Run is made possible through the generous support of our patrons. Bonus shows, special content, and more is available when you become a supporter at patreon.com/thedungeonrun. And join the incredible Dungeon Run community by visiting the official, unofficial Discord at thedungeon.run/discord. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe. It really does make a difference. But now, sit back, relax, enter the world of Ain, and let the dice roll!
Hello and welcome, watchers of the time stream, patrons, friends. We're doing it. We're doing it. Somehow we're doing it. Sorry we're on a little late. I'm still without all of my worldly belongings, having made a cross-country move. Word is they are going to arrive tomorrow. I'm crossing my fingers. But in the meantime, everything decided not to work. So my video is even worse than last week, if you can believe that, because now I am talking to you on a phone. But by Ereban, we're going to make this work one way or another, by hook or by crook. Welcome to episode 92 of the Dungeon Run. If this is your first episode, welcome. We will have information to catch you up so you can jump right into our story shortly. But let's catch everybody up on the business side, first of all. This show is completely made possible by Patreon. That's patreon.com/thedungeonrun. If you want to find out how you can help support the show, keep it going, we have a lot of really wonderful tiers for you to check out on Patreon. A lot of awesome perks for supporting the show. And if you want to support the show live here on Twitch, there's ways to do that too. You can buy forces of good, forces of evil, or things that contribute to the tug of war between Team Force of Good and Force of Evil, including golden potatoes and evil yams. Those pull the tug of war back and forth. And also balloons do the same thing. They work like applause for one team or another. Golden balloons for Team Force of Good, purple balloons for Team Force of Evil. And at the end of the episode, whichever team has won the tug of war will unlock a force card based on their team for the next episode. And last week, if I'm not mistaken, we had technical difficulties, but I believe Team Force of Good won. So we will have a Force of Good card in effect all episode long.
Yay! Oh, ow.
I will read that.
We're a mess. We are a mess.
Oh, we're a mess. We're a mess.
Katie, are you okay?
I'm good.
I look like
bleed for your art, Katie. Bleed for your
Suffer
art.
for your art.
Oh my
let me
goodness.
tell you what the force card that is in effect this week is. It comes to us submitted. You can submit cards. You don't even have to be a patron to submit card ideas. You can do that right on our website. This one was submitted by Samuel Rosina. Samuel Rosina, I believe that is pronounced.
I think that's a new name.
It is called It's Your Time to Shine. And it reads thusly. During this episode, Each player has one chance to make another player shine. Designate anyone else at the table to give off a radiant light illuminating a 15-foot radius and gaining either 2d4 healing or an additional 2d4 radiant damage on an attack.
Ooh, I like it.
Wow, that's so
So
cool.
it can't be used on
Love
yourself, but each player at one point or another has one chance to give it to someone else.
Very nice. I like that.
I choose
This-
Mr. Whispers.
All right. We also have some big updates. Ronald Ogden, you want to tell the folks some big news?
We're so
I
excited.
guess so. Ladies and gentlemen, Jessica, what is the little thing they have to type if they'd like to type it out?
The little pebbles. Can you get into chat here for me, please?
We've been teasing this for so many weeks.
So we are officially right now launching the merch store. You can find it on the-run.myshopify.com. I put a lot of time and effort into this, guys, and I love
Yeah.
this.
There's so much cool stuff.
Ron has been hand stitching shirts for weeks.
Yeah.
To celebrate, coming soon. So make sure you stay with the Discord. Watch us here weekly. But we'll be doing some giveaways as well.
Is that a
Yes, it is a clock.
It is a Life is Pain clock. We've got an East Iene jigsaw puzzle.
Oh, that's
yes.
a map of mine, and it's a jigsaw puzzle. What?
I know.
And what's that beautiful shirt on your chest, Ron?
Oh yes, and the beautiful shirt on my chest. This is our puzzle.
Look at that.
It's a
Beautiful
jigsaw
shirt on our
puzzle.
chest.
Look
Brand
at
new
that.
T-shirts. Different
Like a
types.
Rage Fist baseball tee. Can you even handle it?
I can't.
I was expecting some T-shirts, maybe. In my wildest dreams, maybe a baseball cap. No. Ron has knocked it out of the park. He's been stitching and sewing and constructing in his workshop. And
I really love
this
this
Is
idea.
Ron Santa Claus?
He
Correct.
was 2 Christmases ago. We have got clocks. We have got tote bags. We have
iPhone
got-
covers.
Look at that iPhone case.
So cool.
It's me looking cooler than I've ever looked in my entire life.
We've kept you waiting, and we're sorry. So we paid it off by giving you this amazing site that Ron and others have done such an incredible job with. All of our almost all of our classic shirts are there, along with new designs, and we got more on the way. It's so exciting, and we can't wait for you all to dive on in.
I'm just hoping that our merch store eventually sells a camera that doesn't break 2 minutes before we go.
Well, and here's the thing, I do want to. I think the
Wait.
audience deserves to know we're working on getting you a canvas-based map that you can put on your wall. We're working on it.
Yes.
The problem is the map is a very, very odd dimension.
It's very
and
big.
because it's
Just like our
because
world.
it's odd dimension, it's hard to print on demand when you do so. And as you can see, everything that we have here is print on demand. So we can offer some, cheaper than we normally could if otherwise. So thank you so much, everybody, for especially the cast. I really want to thank you guys. You guys have really been very supportive of me during this process, and
Buddy.
I really thank you
Crushing it.
guys for that.
You are the best.
Yeah, I mean, I love stuff, and I love fan stuff. So as you can see, I have a bunch of it. It was my thing. I was I'm gonna do this. We're gonna make it work.
And you did.
Yeah, we did it.
Yay! Uggo
Doing great,
claws.
Kirk.
Doing great, Kirk.
Doing great, Girk. Ron is not just the merch store president; he's also a client.
It really is.
I am.
He's the merch war chief, I think. Really, is that actually? I think we
Indeed
should
he is.
call him.
Anyway, we are very proud of this, and I think I'm blown away that we're able to offer such cool, interesting, unique products. And I think there's only a few hundred shopping days till Christmas.
Yeah,
So,
just in time.
think of your friends, think of gifts. Hope you find something you like in the store.
And
If there
keep an
is,
I keep an eye out too, because we'll be dropping more in the future.
Oh yeah.
that's what I was
We
just
have
about to say.
so
if there's
many cool ideas.
something that you don't see there that you want, just wait, because the product line will continue to expand. We'd love to get suggestions and requests as well. Feel free to throw those at us, especially if you're a patron. we'd love to hear from you what you would like to see.
I'd love to do one more shout out to JD Illustrates for all
Yes.
of his amazing artwork for our characters. Those are a lot of the new stuff that you see in the shop is because of him. And JD, I have not forgotten about my promise. You're going to get at least one item of your choice from the shop. So pick something out. You let me know what it is, and I'll
At
buy it
least
myself.
one.
Yeah.
At least
Yes.
Well, I
that guy's got a card with us for life.
There you go. And
Him
thank
and Who Else Elliott, both of them. A lot of our artwork
Yes.
too is Who Else Elliott.
We love you guys.
All right, anything else I'm forgetting as far as business-wise?
Well, I just wanted to also shout out all of our early birds in chat. We had a lot of gift subs, especially from Changebox and Fallstar, just seeing lines and lines and lines of gifting subs to our community. So thank you so much. That allows you to use our custom emotes and just involve yourself more in our community in a special way. So that's really important to us. Thank you.
And we've already got an avalanche of potatoes and yams. Team Force of Evil showing up hard in the beginning of the show. We got a golden potato from Dawnbreaker 1991. Awesome. Thank you. That is such a generous gift. Thank you. But the evil yams, listen to this. Syntax, which is a new name to me.
Yeah.
The Cosmic Lord with 2 evil yams.
Whoa.
No, make that 3 evil yams from the Cosmic Lord. Thank you, Cosmic Lord. And that brings the Team Force of Good, Team Force of Evil tug of war total to Team Force of Good 22%. Evil 78%.
Wow.
Oh, no.
Runes from Lily Dumblestuck fan and someone whose name I cannot pronounce. Squid Bottom Clepence? Something like that. Anyway.
You have to say
Squid Bottom. Just say Squid Bottom.
Best we can do.
I'm not even sure that's right. Squid Baby Squid Baby Tentacle Pants, I think is what it is.
Oh, there we go. Very nice.
Crack the riddle. All right.
Solved your puzzle, Squid Baby.
Again, I apologize profusely for my video quality this week. I'm literally on an iPhone because my thing crashed like
Honestly,
a minute and a half
Jeff, you
before.
look
Jeff
good.
hasn't bathed in days. His clothes, the same clothes that
We
he
don't
had.
have smooth.
We don't
Since
have
he-
towels yet.
Yeah.
There's no.
They
Wait.
don't have
You have those
showers in
curtains.
Denver. I don't know if you know that.
That's the Rocky Mountain high smell. All right, here we go. I think we're ready to finally
Longest intro ever.
light the torch. It started as a simple dungeon run. But nothing in Ain stays simple for long. Brakka, the former war chief of Thorn, is dead. Deposed and slain by his brother Uggo. The will of the Orcs carried out by way of a swiftly smashed skull. Brakka was seduced by a dark power lurking underneath the city. An ancient aboleth that had slowly poisoned everything in the area with its insidious rage. But when the Heroes of Bingle destroyed the aboleth, that rage dissipated, and the anger that defined a culture faded away. Uggo became the new war chief and tried to instill a new way forward for Thorn. Brakka had turned the Orcs away from their ancestors, cutting down the sacred tree under whose branches generations had been buried. And though Orcish tradition decreed that the war chief had unquestioned authority, Uggo left Brakka's fate in the hands of his people. They spoke loudly and clearly, their voices amplified by you, the Watchers of the Time Stream. They called for judgment. They called for blood. They called for Brakka's execution. Uggo and the other heroes of Bingle had journeyed to Thorn to rescue their friends, Torvald the Timid, a wizard of the natural order, and Diph, a sky child whose mystical floating tower had been ripped out of the clouds and left in ruins. Torvald and Diph had been captured by the Orcs of Ukdun, who traded them to Brakka to use as bait to lure Uggo back home. In exchange, Ukdun and Thorn were unified in war against the dwarves, bombarding dwarvish cities with weapons supplied to them by a gnomish inventor named Fardinald Urtenfurt. The heroes had already battled Urtenfurt and his army of clockwork robots, and discovered that he was only one member of a vicious cabal that had been capturing the Wardens, the 100-foot-tall beings who kept the peace in Ain for centuries. So far, the team has found 3 of these Wardens, freeing them from members of the cabal: Fardinald Urtenfurt, the mad scientist; Jan Mo, a warrior with claims to the throne of the Dragonborn Empire; and Vic, a thief who lost her life when she destroyed a mysterious urn and unleashed hordes of demons across the realms. All of them led by Calcutta Theed, the Ashen Mage, a spellcaster of incredible capacity, whose plan to defeat the Wardens is part of her attempt to reclaim the knowledge from Ain's lost history. No one in all the realms remembers anything from before the Great War of Ideas 300 years ago. Every record, memory, or piece of information has been wiped away. But there is a magical relic that holds the key to unlocking the mysteries of that time: the Secret Keeper's Amulet. When brought into contact with a Warden, the amulet reveals a vision of the past, memories of the Warden's creation, and clues about the threat they were created to prevent. When the heroes of Bingle found the Secret Keeper's Amulet, it was Torvald the Timid who helped them identify it. He guided them to another member of the Natural Order, Hermil Fesh, the scholar of Nightstone Abbey in Turles. James Quillis had studied under Fesh during his time at the Abbey and knew the scholar well. When the team journeyed to Turles, they found it locked down, a moratorium on magic forcing all spellcasters out of the city and into the shantytown outside the gates. The longer the team stayed in Turles, the more they ran afoul of the moratorium. When a prickly Nightstone wizard named Audric Lucerne attempted to confiscate Fahima's pet phoenix, Uggo threatened Lucerne's life. Shortly thereafter, Lucerne was found dead in the exact manner Uggo had described. Wanted for murder, the heroes of Bingle fled Turles, leaving a lowly merchant named Jorel locked in prison for merely interacting with them. Now that they have reunited with Torvald, the team plans to return to Turles. But Diph remains an ongoing concern. As a fallen sky child, she has started changing. Her complexion has grayed and her hair whitened. Worse, she seems to be cursed, forced to remain underground. No longer Diph, she insists she is past tense, Diph Theed, and spends all her time digging in the mud in the cavern beneath Thorn. When Fahima tried to confront Diph Theed about this bizarre new behavior, Diph Theed lashed out, begging Fahima to send her through a portal to the Ashen Mage's lair. Fahima refused, worried what sending their ally to their enemy might do. Meanwhile, James was experiencing his own transformation. Having defied his warlock patron's request to kill Brakka himself, James began developing characteristics reminiscent of the demons now roaming Ain's countryside. Eyes black as pitch, sharpened teeth, and purple veins poking through thinning skin. Though the heroes of Bingle have successfully liberated Thorn from the dark influence that contaminated it, they find themselves with many more problems and no easy answers. As we ended last week, the voices of the assembled Orcs of Thorn rang out in unison. Brakka's blood and brains dripped from Uggo's mighty maul, the new war chief having carried out the gruesome sentence of his people. Their rhythmic chanting of the surname he'd shared with his brother built to a thunderous crescendo. Rage Fist. Rage Fist. Rage Fist. Rage. And that is where we will pick up this week.
Woo!
What an ending.
We did get another golden potato when I was doing that. This one
Potato.
comes potato. This comes from Dawnbreaker 1991 again.
Sweet.
This is the second Dawnbreaker potato.
Wow. Thanks, John
Which
Breaker.
brings Team Force of Good up to 34%. Team Force of Evil is still at 66%. All right.
6.
So in the aftermath of the trial of Brakka Ragefist and the execution of Brakka, there is certainly time for you as a team to reconvene. I would assume that you have left that public space and moved back to more private.
Oh,
quarters.
I'm chanting Rage Fist. I'm
Okay.
part of the orc mob. I was
right.
in there cheering his death, or whispering his death. So when it happens, I would probably have joined in on that.
All right.
I'm following behind Uggo, just giving him like a little bit of space, but trying to keep an eye on him.
Aren't the orcs like wanting to like rush Uggo and put him up on their shoulders and
I mean,
do the whole Rockstar thing?
It's not so much that Uggo has completed the execution. Uggo, you are covered in blood.
Yeah, right.
Your maul is soiled. Your clothes are soiled. Uggo turned, did in one swift strike, gashed his brother's brains out, turned and left the area, and this crowd has been kind of brought to this frenzy that you haven't seen since the Aboleth died. This palpable sense of being worked up and being energized and impassioned in a way that really hasn't happened since the Aboleth was destroyed. And in that tumult, Civ, you certainly are, feel it all around you. This excitement and revelry, but there's no forward movement. It's just sort of like the end of a band having played or something. There's a desire for an encore, perhaps, but none is coming.
Party number 2? Rage party? Mosh pit? No, I can tell I'm the only one that wants to go that route. Okay.
You're
Do
the
I
only one
see-
who seems celebratory about the situation.
Yeah. He was a terrible person. I wanted him to die. I was definitely team he needs to die. Definitely. Do I see my friends acting all morose on the stage?
I think
see that?
what has happened is you saw this swift act, this violent act, and then Uggo basically turn 180 degrees and walk back. That crowd is in front of him. You are in that crowd, and he turned his back to the crowd and walked directly back up that hill, headed toward his father's old residence.
What do Bogash and Gurk do after that?
Gurk starts furiously cleaning up. There's a lot.
Uggo did tell him also to put the bodies in a cart. And
Yes,
bring them.
he's loading those
You're doing
rotting
great, Gurk.
corpses.
Doing great.
James would probably kind of stand there in a bit of shock for a moment, looking down at the corpse of Brakka, and then probably not really expecting anything, but check his nails and check his skin and see if anything has changed.
All right, roll me an investigation check. Do you have advantage from Chafrikas, but it is countered by Shiny 8-Bit Boo.
Thank you both. Investigation, not great. That's a 10.
There's a lot of activity. There's this energy from the crowd, and there is also Gurk trying to clean up. And you see there is gore all over the front of this area that you were standing on. It's not so much a stage, but it is a bit raised up above the crowd so that everyone can see. And what you see is a headless corpse. I mean, you see a body with caved in, and fluids are leaving the body. So it is difficult for you to get close to it to, discern anything. From what you see, you don't notice any particular change, but this...
I was looking about it for a change in myself.
Oh, in yourself. Oh, yes. Well, you definitely don't see any change in yourself. I thought you were checking...
No, yeah, that
Brakka.
also makes sense, because Brakka had been somewhat
Yeah.
made to look very strange.
No,
by
you
his-
do not. See, you markedly do not see a change in yourself.
Understood. All right.
Yeah, you still feel sharpened teeth. You look down at your arms, and the veins still protrude. Your nails are pointier. You still feel that strange irritation in the back, your shoulder blades. Nothing has changed.
James is very self-conscious about how he looks and how his look probably affects the orcs around him, because he's noticed it's made them nervous in the past. So I probably keep my hood up, and then I look for Bogash. I try to make my way over to where Bogash is.
Bogash is standing solemnly looking over the corpse of Brakka and sort of overseeing Gurk and the other orcs cleaning up and sort of dispersing the crowd a bit, trying to indicate to them that this event is over and to go about their lives. He stands there solemnly and he watches you approach.
Mr. Bloodspear, I'm sorry, is Mr. Sir?
Yes. He looks at you sideways. He peers underneath the hood as you've drawn it over your eyes, trying to make out what is underneath.
Yes, I know we've yes, we know each other. I know. What do you make of this? What do you make of this crowd? Do you sense a remaining loyalty to Brakka, or what do you think?
It is the Orcish way to settle disputes. They called out for blood, and Uggo obliged as the war chief promised.
Listen, Uggo will most likely have to leave with us soon. Matters important to all of Ain draw us elsewhere. It is for the protection of Thorn, for everywhere, that we may need to leave, but I wanted to address you personally and speak to you about matters here, because Uggo will rely upon you a great deal as a counselor and as one who can be trusted.
The war chief has indicated as such. I will serve as I have his father and his brother before him.
Can you also, I know he's asked for as much, but advise others who can help? You can't help Thorn all on your own, and neither can War Chief Uggo. But I want to have this moment with you.
The strongest warriors of our tribe will be welcomed into decisions. But hopefully Uggo will indicate his will before he departs.
As subtly as I can, Jeff, I'd like to cast Detect Thoughts.
Okay. All right. I roll a wisdom save.
No, I mean,
no, not yet. There's the surface thoughts. Yes.
Yeah, I'm not gonna. I'm gonna be real subtle about it, but I basically want to use it as kind of a supercharged insight check, really. And
Right.
I just really want to make sure that if we are about to leave, that we are leaving this city in the hands of this man, and want to be sure.
Just dealing with the surface thoughts, you get there's a vague sort of image of individuals as he brings them up. These generals, there are specific people that he is referencing in his own mind. You don't recognize them. In fact, you don't even get a real solid image of them, but there's just this sense of a specificity to what he's talking about that leads you to believe that he is speaking something that he believes to be true.
Right. I have a bit of a strange request, and I pull out my Book of Shadows. There is a way magic allows us to speak on regular terms, and for us to keep in regular contact. If there is any issues, we can check in with you on a very regular basis, no matter where we are. Because I think our journeys will lead us quite far away, at least for a time. I, however, need you to sign your name in this book. I hope that is something you're comfortable doing, I will open my shadowy tome.
He looks down at it, and then he looks back up at you.
Pull back your hood.
Fine. I will.
And you see him recoil only slightly, catching himself as he does.
It's fine.
You appear as the Tanaruk. Do you have their strength?
Not physically, but I, like yourself, am a trusted advisor of War Chief Uggo, and I want what's best for Thorn.
When Brakka was War Chief of Thorn, I followed his commands explicitly. But I saw what the Tanaruk became.
This will not be that. I promise.
The Tanaruk could have made a similar promise, and it would not have mattered. Do you understand what I say?
Yes. Like yourself, I am not one whose trust is not easily earned with me.
My war chief seems to trust you, so I shall as well.
Thank
And
you.
he reaches out, and you see him
I will
sign.
remove Uggo's name first, so because I only get 4.
Okay.
So I will remove
He
Uggo's name.
writes Bogash Blood Spear.
Thank you. I think we leave Thorn in good hands.
My war chief relies on you, and the people of Thorn rely on him. That makes your responsibility all of the Orcs of Thorn.
It's a responsibility I do not take lightly, I assure you.
Nor I.
Thank you.
He moves away.
Don't, I know Uggo said to feed Brakka to the vultures. Bury him. Bury him
Gurgit
as... Please.
loads up this cart, starts pushing it away, wiping down the very ground, which is
I'm
soaked
gonna
with
help
blood.
him, Jeff.
Okay.
If the party's breaking up, then I'm gonna help Gurk out.
Yeah. There is this sense of
My cart,
revelry.
by the way.
No one else is going to want to sit in it now.
You say that.
You it is gruesome business. I mean, this is not a clean kill by any
Yeah.
stretch of the imagination.
Not the first time I've had to dispose of a corpse.
And probably not the first time you've loaded orcish bodies onto a cart, having fought in the wars in some of the skirmishes and battles between Ukdun and Thorn as a sellsword. This is something that sellswords probably would have been
Yeah, you earn
asked to do.
double pay.
Yeah. And also the corpses that were hauled out of the Underfury, as I mentioned last week, are in pretty dire condition as well. The rot from the water, making their flesh fall from the bone. It is not a pleasant experience.
I'm gonna ask Gurk. Gurk, what are you going to do with all of these bodies?
Whatever the war chief requests of me.
What do orcs normally do with the dead? Burn
Well-
them or bury them or...
Before Brakka, we would bury them at the burial tree, but when Brakka was war chief, we put them in the Underfury, so I can't honestly say what Uggo would like.
Is there another place that has, I don't know, some kind of significance to your people?
Well,
Do you want me to go ask Uggo where to bury the bodies? Would that make you feel more comfortable?
yes, I was planning to bring them on the outskirts of the city and let the crows, but your friend said not to do this. I am confused.
Yes, it is fine. Just load up the cart with the bodies, as many bodies as you can fit into the cart, and I will go ask Uggo what he wants to do with all of them.
Thank you.
Go.
Yeah.
I just wanted you to know that I'm here if you need anything. Would you like a hug?
Oh, I cannot be touched right now.
I understand that.
We have
you
more
like-
business here before we leave.
Okay. Well,
I am simply going back to throne room. Need to grab seeds.
seeds?
Yes.
What kind of seeds?
3 seeds.
Oh,
Sacred tree. I am going to
oh,
replant.
Jesus. Yes.
Going to use orc bodies to replant it.
That's a good use of them.
Yes, must not go to waste.
I know you had an impossible decision to make. And I know sometimes you can be a critic of yourself. But you did the best with the situation you were given, Uggo. I really believe that. And I
Like it
want
when
you to know
lie
that
to
I...
me.
What?
I like this when you lie to me. Makes me feel better.
I'm not lying to you. I am the first person to say that I don't like killing anybody. But you had to make a decision as a leader, and as the moral ground was very wishy-washy and gray. There was no right answer. And that's why I say I'm proud of the decision that you made, because you made a decision, Uggo. And I think in that situation, most of us would have been paralyzed. You did the hard thing, which ultimately I think, as much as I can't believe I'm about to say it, is the thing that's best for everybody.
Is not best for Uggo.
I know.
Is best for Thorn. Uggo made sacrifice today.
I know.
Lily,
Yes.
when I watched his head crumble,
I know.
he saw James. And I saw Civ, I saw you, I saw Fahima. He betrayed me, but he was my family.
I know. I would not have been able to do what you had to do today. And I hope that none of us ever have to do something like that ever again. And I'm sorry that you had to do it.
I am worried that Thorn has learned nothing.
Well, lessons aren't overnight most of the time. It's a gradual process, right?
Yes.
You know, 2 steps forward, 1 step back. That's what Grammy always said. And so sometimes it's going to feel like you're not making progress, even though you really slowly are. Thorn will learn from you over time, Uggo, because you are different. And your heart is good. But even if you're good and different, you're still going to have to make tough decisions. We all have had to do that. This one is probably one of the toughest.
We are doing one that is hard for Uggo too, as well. We are leaving.
I know. But we don't have to leave forever.
No.
But there is one last thing Uggo must do before we leave.
What is it?
Deeds. Dree.
Oh, right. You already told me. Sorry. I was listening. I just didn't realize that was the one thing you were referring to.
Yes.
Rage fist! Rage fist! Rage fist! Did you hear them chanting your name, my friend? Did you hear? Hundreds of orcs, thousands of orcs. They love you. You are their king.
Uggo turns in frustration and starts walking towards the throne room again.
What?
Sif, that was a horrible decision that he had to make.
Well, he had no choice. They were all saying to kill him.
I know, but I don't think that makes it easier to have made it. And also, he just had to kill his own brother.
Well, he was a horrible person. He deserved to die.
Well...
Did you see all of the bodies in the cart?
Sid.
That is all because of him.
Okay, well, you saw someone who was not necessarily the best person die earlier this year, and how did that affect you?
That is very different.
Okay, it's always going to be different. I'm just saying it is a little bit the same. It's a little bit the same.
All right, fine. It is a little bit the same.
Okay.
Look, I need to know what to do with the bodies. Gurk is lost. He is confused. He is being told so many different things. I need Uggo
I love
to decide.
Gurk so much, but okay. Uggo has an idea for that. We're going to take them out to the tree.
The tree is gone.
Well,
There is no
we're
tree.
going to replant the tree with the bodies.
How?
Well, this is Uggo's idea and his thing to tell. Let me go get him. I would just maybe, I think being proud of him is good, but maybe we just need to be.
I'm very proud of him.
I know, but
He's doing a very good job. I
It's
did not
coming
think
off a
he was
little
going
bit-
to be a good war chief, and he is a great war chief.
okay, but he also is a war chief who just had to kill his
That is
brother,
what they
so-
do. That is how the orcs live.
I know, but he doesn't want to be like that.
I am confused.
I know. It's okay. Let me go get him.
I want to jump in here and tell you that we have gotten a couple of potatoes. We got a gold potato from Kitty Scritches. Thank you, Kitty Scritches.
Kitty Scritches.
And an evil yam from Shiny 8-Bit Boo. Very, very generous.
Ooh, shiny
So
bit.
generous.
Get it. We love it.
Team Force of Good is at 39%. Team Force of Evil at 61.
Wow.
Good is catching up.
Yep.
Right. All right. So, Uggo, you've made your way almost entirely back to the throne there at this point.
Jeff, Uggo's gonna make his way to the throne itself, the
Yeah.
one that his father sat on, the one that Brakka sat on, the one that has been in this thorn for generations.
Yeah.
And Uggo knows because his mother showed him a very long time ago a secret compartment that she kept just behind the throne room, just behind the throne, in a small stone at the base of the throne. And when he pulls it out, it's a small box, very simple wood. And when he opens it, there are 3 seeds. His orcish mother used to tell him a story about how a seed, when nourished, planted, watered, and shown love, will grow into a healthy and very strong tree. And that is how his orcish mother reminded Uggo that he was loved when he was a child. And as he picks up the box, and I assume that Lily is not far behind, this is the last of her.
Gonna walk up and gently touch his arm. I'll go.
Mm,
She'll always be with you.
Yes. She planted seed in Uggo.
Yes.
She planted seed of love.
So this is not the last of her. She lives on through you. She lives on through all of us because we met you. This is why it's important to tell stories of her. That's how she lives on.
Oh no, Mama's seed she planted in Uggo shall plant her seeds.
Yes.
Thank you, Lily. When I first met you, I made a promise to you. Uggo still keeps that promise. But I do not think that Uggo knew that you would keep the promise back to Uggo. Thank you. And he gently picks her up and gives her a big hug.
This is the least painful hug you've ever given me, Uggo.
Uggo is new. Things change now. Let's go.
All right.
Yeah,
Civ wants
Uggo
to help.
Will lead Lily back to Lily.
Yes?
You should be in saddle. Let Thorn Orcs see.
Oh, okay.
Hold box.
And then Uggo will, with the backpack back on, take Lily back to where I assume Girk is still cleaning up bodies.
Yeah. Civ was helping him for a while, but peaced out. So excited.
We are supposed to
hear on the
thank
Revel.
That's very in character for Civ, I would like to point out.
Civ, are you following me or are you?
It's the old Olsvach exit.
When my choices are follow Lily and watch her walk down the streets, or go back and deal with dead, mushy bodies getting piled into a cart. What do you think? What do you think I would do there, Katie?
Fair.
I don't blame you. I just wanted to point it out.
There you are. Do you want me to tell Girk about your plans, or do you want to tell him?
I am going there now.
You know, with
Will
us.
you come?
Yes, of course.
Uggo, do you want me to say anything while I'm holding this?
I mean, you can be yourself. I just want you to hold on to a box for me.
Oh, I thought I was showing it off.
Oh, no, just, I was holding it.
Oh.
I was handing it to you.
Thank you. I misunderstood the direction.
Yes, sorry.
Yeah, as soon as he gets back to Girk, he says,
Girk,
Yes, my chief.
you are doing a good job.
Thank you, my chief.
Way to
Uggo
go,
has
Girk.
changed mind.
You stand there like his hands are dripping with goo, you know?
He said, I have had a hard time knowing which feast goes with which feast, but I am trying, my chief.
You do not have to organize the bodies.
Oh, good. Just a big pile of mush then.
Girk's a little type A.
You said bodies, and I was trying to give you bodies instead of just, mush.
Girk, I appreciate your
I thought Olsvach was dark.
Girk, bring Brakka's body too.
Yes, my chief.
Are you sure?
Yes.
You're going to bury him with the others?
Well,
What if he is corrupted by the,
Uggo will make sure he will not turn.
Oh. All right.
Bogash,
Yes, your majesty.
call Orcs.
Once again, your majesty.
Yes, we will march to new tree, where we plant it. Orcs will see.
As you wish, for chief.
And once again, he reaches to his belt and pulls a horn. Blows this call that once again, they've just, the same guy building the same
Oh, he's painting. He's painting. Remember? He's painting the side of his shack, and he's like, "Oh,
they just got back up to the throne room to patch the hole, and they're like,
Times are popping in Thorn, man. There's a lot going on.
We need to have a meeting to discuss the meeting that we're going to have."
No.
No, but all the orcs again, as you know, in this revelry that you saw them dissipate in, there's still this. I think there's a heightened state that even though they had dissipated and the concert was over, there's still this feeling like an eagerness to be addressed by their war chief, who has now done this act that I think energized them. So yes, everyone sort of comes back, and there's this reconvening, this gathering again of all the Thorn orcs back to their war chief, and they see Uggo sitting there with Lily in the saddle behind him.
I think I would have found Fahima, by the way, and then probably come back to if I heard the horn or something. Yeah, depending. I mean,
Fahima, you were not were you not present at the execution? You were, right?
I was, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, Fahima would have probably walked away in a bit of a daze at what she just witnessed her friend do.
Yeah.
And go sit in probably her chambers and read.
Okay.
Trying to process everything.
is Lesliana still in Thorn? I don't remember if she left or not.
Roll me a perception check, James.
Okay.
You have advantage from Chafrikas.
Thanks, Chafrikas. Perception, you said? Oh,
yeah.
Gosh, I'm not rolling well. 9.
9. You do not see Lesliana anywhere.
All right.
Uggo, why don't you roll me a perception check? You have advantage from False Star, countered by Alpha 2760.
Perception check is 19.
All right. You also do not see Lesliana anywhere, but you do notice a wolf that was present at the execution and has sort of been milling about with kind of the same hair coloration, sort of grayed auburn hair.
I'm assuming I've seen this wolf before.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Uggo seems to make recognition and go, good. Orcs of Thorn!
Orcs of Thorn.
Okay.
There's a response from the crowd.
It's okay. It's okay.
Oh, sorry.
Thank you. Yeah, it's okay. War Chief, make new decree. Ancestral tree shall be replanted, starting with those who were forced to give their lives by Brakka.
There's some murmuring amongst the crowd. Again, this excitement of the sort of violent eruption that happened not too long ago has settled, but this now kind of is a left turn from that state of frenzy. It is now back to a more contemplative, and so this murmur is less. It is a little more uncertain. There's just, it sounds like a murmur among you turning to each other and surprise, a bit of surprise.
Uggo did bring forth his ancestors during the trial, right?
That is correct.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, got it. Yeah.
War Chief Uggo now say, all who live in Thorn shall follow Uggo to site of tree and witness ceremony. Follow Uggo as he brings,
And Uggo rages,
substance. Look, bring.
and Uggo begins to march out of Thorn.
All right, and you see Bogash holding the sort of walking stick staff that he always has, pounds it on the ground a couple of times and turns and starts to follow you in his slow, uneven waddle. He's this elderly orc moving behind Uggo, but it's this unspoken command to galvanize all of the Orcs of Thorn behind, and they fall in. It is orderly. It is almost a procession that falls in behind Uggo and Lily on his back, and
Lily.
the rest of you.
Do you still have the drums I gave you?
Yeah.
Please, play Processional now.
Okay.
Thank you.
Jeff, I'm gonna look around. Is the bard that I interacted with anywhere in sight?
Roll me a perception check. You have advantage from Newly Dumblestuck fan.
Yay! Thank you.
Jeff, are we going outside of town to get to this tree spot? It's
Well,
outside of town, right?
It is outside of town, yes.
I rolled a 9 with advantage. So
You do not see her, but there are a number of. I mean, there's a large number of orcs, so it's hard
Okay.
for you to.
that's fine.
I'll go there. There is a chance that there is going to be demons on the way to the tree. Do you want me to scout?
Please.
Can I take Gurk with me?
Eric's
Gurk.
holding the
Gurk
cart.
must bring bodies.
Oh, right. Let me just take 1 or 2 orcs with me in case there's problems.
Yes.
Great.
Bogash!
Yes, what?
I need 2 orc scouts. Follow Civ.
He turns and nods, and 2 orc scouts run up from behind in the crowd. One has a spear, the other a bow.
I am
Be
going
safe.
to test. I nod. In fact, I salute. I'm going to test these orcs. I want to see what they're made of. So I'm gonna run into the woods and see if they can keep up.
Okay. Roll me a survival check. You have advantage.
Follow me and it's just bowl.
Yeah, I'm testing them.
You can.
Fast as you can.
What I'll do if I can lose them, I'm gonna come back around on them.
You have
That's
advantage
good.
from Hadrian X, countered by Shiny 8-Bit Boo, and they will roll one as well. We'll see who. I have advantage
good.
from. I have advantage from Extinguish the
Continuing.
Flame. Extinguish the Flame. Boo. Countered by Shiny 8-Bit Boo.
I'm continuing the bad rolls for today's episode with a 9.
Oh, I got a 14.
All right.
So,
So
they
they can keep up on them. Yeah. Okay.
They're what, Jeff?
Yeah.
But I will at one point I'll have them kind of fan out one a little bit too, because we're heading like east or northeast, I think. So one a little bit to the north and then the other one a little bit to the south, so that we kind of make a vanguard or a V heading towards the tree. And
Yeah.
If they spot anything, I'll show them the same, hand signals that I typically use, so that they can point out what they see or where they see it.
Well, as you bolt forward, trying to lose them with all your speed, these are young orcs. They're lean, they're fast, and
What are you trying to say here, Jeff?
they're old and busted.
You're
and they're new
saying
houses.
Civ is old and busted?
Yeah, and they're they're like that. And as you cross through those grand gates that are covered in pelts that mark the entrance to Thorn, and then you slip through the opening as they creak open. You see them as soon as they cross that threshold out, pull up these sort of cloaks that they had that are fashioned out of the skins of demons themselves, and they pull them up over their eyes, and they're continuing to run. But it looks, they've got this sort of slick, leathery appearance now that looks almost like a demon moving through the woods itself. It's quite striking as you witness them do it.
Creepy.
Yeah.
Okay. What
This is
time
how
of day?
this is how they've been scouting and hunting. in the
Yeah.
last
No, I get it. I mean,
few
they're
weeks,
trying
yeah.
they're trying to essentially mask themselves a little bit. What time of day is it?
Oh, it's going to be pretty late in the day. You guys have had
Okay.
this morning you got up and had the whole trial and everything, so it's
Right.
it's pretty late in the day.
We
Do
blew
we
up an
have-
obelisk. We did a lot today.
Yeah. do we have enough time to get to the tree and back before the sun goes down?
I think so, yeah.
Okay, great. Awesome. Then I'm scouting.
All right, roll me a perception check. You have advantage from the Carson.
Thank you, Carson. That's more like it. 25.
All right, so you definitely see evidence of movement through the woods. You definitely see large-ish creatures that have moved through here, but you don't spot, at least at this point, you don't spot any active moving creatures or threats.
Okay. No threats. Okay,
Yeah.
great. I'll just continue doing that so that the procession doesn't get attacked or ambushed unawares.
Okay. And Uggo, as you continue moving, you move down you fall into that center thoroughfare, really that pathway that leads down the center of Thorn, that leads to the Underfury, but also leads out that front entrance. And your procession winds that way. Lily drumming and kind of creating a rhythm that is pushing this procession forward, and the entire town seems to be following you as you walk, Bogash hobbling behind on his walking stick.
I mean, Uggo's gonna keep fairly quiet until they get to the spot that he knows and leading them to.
Fahima, are you coming as well, or are you staying behind?
Yeah, I'll join.
Okay.
Yeah,
Right,
I think I'm walking with Fahima. Yes, yeah.
Okay. It is a strange, methodical move. Uggo seems not to be in any particular hurry, but this rhythmic drumming is different than, I mean, obviously Lily's doing it, not the orcs, but it is also very different than the drumming that you experienced on the way into Thorn, that felt anticipatory and like this beating heart that was moving you forward. This one is much more methodic and inevitable, and sort of it's got less momentum and more it's more contemplative, right? It feels more reverent,
funereal, if you
will. And as you move out that front gate, beyond the gates, they had cracked open as Civ and the two orcs had run ahead, but now they open to their full open position, and the entire city of Thorn moves through, like the Pied Piper, Uggo bringing the town out and into the woods beyond the city gates. And as you continue to move, the thrum, that boom, 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 keeps moving you forward, and all of you walking, there's an eerie silence to all of it. There is no talking, there is no sound other than this boom, 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 this movement going forward, the footfalls, the large number of orcs crunching and cracking through the wilderness, moving out. And Uggo, the experience that you have walking this walk that you have done, I would assume numerous times, from the city to the sacred tree, the burial tree, the tree of your ancestors, something you have done a number of times, is different. Not just because of the circumstances, not just because you lead as war chief this entire city behind you, but because you always saw as your North Star, as your location point, the huge tree rising above all the others. And it is absent from the tree line where it always was, where you always saw it. It is vacant. A gap there where that massive tree that was larger than all others once stood. But still, you know which direction to move. You know, almost as a habit, as an instinct, you know how to follow the path through the trees toward the burial tree where it once was. And then you arrive into the grove, and this place is extraordinary. All of you who hadn't been here yet are struck by what this tree must have been. Its stump is enormous, and there are gnarled roots rising up and around, coming up out of the ground in all directions, radiating from this stump. Huge. They must be 5-10 feet around, just the roots themselves coming up out of the earth and back into it. It's extraordinary. In fact, if you'd like to see it, we can go to the map room.
Yay!
That worries me slightly.
Yeah.
Fair.
Why? Why?
I thought you guys were going to go here. I thought you guys were going to go here much earlier. Than
You did. That's right. That is true. Okay. All right.
Cool. Well, how do you find these? Oh my god,
My
it's
ways.
perfect.
We have incredible artists. Check the credits at the end of the show for the patrons that we use for these maps.
Wow.
Yes, incredible set of artists.
Just gorgeous. Is this the same? Always the same artist?
There's a lot of different ones.
Yeah, we used a few different maps artists who are wonderful.
This looks like the Vargan Crimson Forest.
A little
man,
bit.
Don't say that.
So you see this thing. I mean, it is 20 feet across, 30 feet across. This stump. You can imagine those of you who've walked in woods before, all of you. You can imagine what the size of the tree that this stump must have yielded.
Is there any?
Go ahead.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. Is there any remnants of like bodies or anything? Since I'm assuming the bodies were buried here a long time ago when the tree was here.
Well, the tree is still here, right? I mean, the stump is still here, and among these tangled roots, among this incredible web of these immense roots that emanate from the center of this stump, you can imagine bodies buried in and among them, beneath them. It is all in the ground here. This is sacred ground for the orcs. And as Uggo leads the procession, the orcs fall out and around, filling in behind you. In this bottom left-hand corner, you can see there are many orcs behind, and Uggo, what you see is this thing cut down, this thing gone that meant so much to you and your experience here.
Once the rest of the orcs arrive, I'll go indicate to Lily to complete her procession.
I'll make kind of a final fanfare.
And there's a solemnity as the orcs all remain silent, and they fan out and kind of create this semicircle around this sacred spot. And Uggo, you feel that silence. It's a palpable, thick, heavy silence.
We can no longer remember our ancestors, as we once did. Look around you, this tree. Grown, Uggo assumed thousands of years before now. It has seen things that no orc has ever seen. It used to know things no orc had ever known. Brakka ended that for Thorn. But it is not his fault. It is Thorn's fault. We have abandoned our ways because we have forgotten them. Uggo was shown these ways from this tree by his mother. May Galira live forever. And it is in her name, Galira Ragefist, that I now shall intern these bodies so there may be another tree, so that ancestors may be remembered again. Uggo rages.
Okay. And again, you see you conjure this rage, and the other orcs of Thorn see you raging, and it used to be something that all of them could touch on so quickly, so easily, but to see you conjure it, to see you touch deep down inside you and choose to rage in such a fashion, there is an acknowledgement of that, an appreciation of it that kind of moves like a wave through the crowd as they watch their war chief enrage.
Uggo has remembered what rage feels like deep inside. His ancestors have shown him what that rage can be used to accomplish. Now, Uggo will show Orcs how that can be harnessed again.
And he looks at Girk.
Girk, you and your teams dig 3 holes. Throw in the bodies from the Underfury. Bring Brakka's body here, in middle of stump.
And he nods, and he and a few other younger orcs move forward and start digging vigorously in areas right by around the front of this stump right here, and here, and here.
And as they do that, Uggo begins furiously with 2 hand axes chopping into the flat part of the tree, trying to make as much as he can, denting, ripping up dead wood from the center of it to make a large enough hole that he thinks Brakka's head, or the rest of his body, I should say, it can fit within the hole in the trunk.
Roll me a strength check. You have advantage from a jar full of bees that is countered by syntax.
It is a strength check, and I'm raging, so I technically already get it.
Oh, you have advantage. Yes, you do.
Strength, just straight strength check. 23. I rolled a 19.
Huge chunks of the center of this tree come flying out with each hatchet fall from your mighty orcish arms. Thwack, thwack, big, huge, big, just wedges of the interior of this tree.
Uggo isn't being quiet while this happens. He's screaming in anger. You can tell that he is taking out some of this rage that he has into what is left by Brakka, this stump.
And there's this murmur, this supportive sort of grunting and churning in the audience, in the Thorn orcs. You feel them relating, almost giving you strength from their own support, their own sense of passion, this aggression that they're witnessing in you, kind of channeled through each of them as you are taking your fury out on the center of the aerial tree. And before long, at that rate, you have created this divot, this wedge in the center of the core of this tree that could fit 2 full bodies at this point. You've just completely torn the center out of this tree.
When they bring... Oh, go ahead, Lily.
Lily doesn't say anything, but is holding on for dear life in the backpack.
Oh, yeah, I should have probably mentioned that I drilled you out before any of that occurred. I apologize. Completely forgot that you were in there.
Roller coaster.
Before any of that
You wouldn't have even remembered.
Amazing.
Sorry, I was so into it. I forgot.
Lily's like, now's not the time, Lily. Just
so
hold
perfect.
on.
It's so perfect.
And as soon as they bring... Getting hit in the face by wood chips.
You're doing great, Kirk.
And when they finally do bring what is left of Brakka's body to the stump and finish their own digging, Uggo will call to the other teams of orcs and Girk.
Throw the bodies in the holes.
And you see these decomposing bodies dumped slowly, methodically from in each one. Boom, boom. Couple bodies in each. Boom, boom. 3, 4. Boom, boom. They fall into these holes that have been dug in between these gnarled, winding branches. These roots that are still protruding, moss-covered. The smell of this place is incredible. It's potent. It is, it's this very concentrated smell of nature, of the outdoors, of this tree, of this moss. It's a dampness. It's fertility almost. It's a strange sensation. There is no odor of death, even though these bodies are being dumped in these holes. It is quite the opposite. It feels fresh and alive.
These orcs, whether willingly or not, gave their lives for Thorn. They made the ultimate sacrifice. Uggo will remember that. Thorn shall remember that. This includes Brakka. But Brakka shall be used to remember what should not be done. Uggo has learned often the best way to know what to do is to learn first what not to do.
And at that point, first Uggo looks at Brakka's body and his eyes squint a bit. Uggo casts Divine Sense.
Okay.
Does Brakka appear to be a fiend or an undead or a celestial?
Well, you would have a sense of fiend, but as it is a corpse, I think you would probably, if you get a sense of that, it is only faint. And
Uggo kneels down, pulls a candle from his clothing, lights it, and casts Ceremony.
How far is your range for the Divine Sense?
Divine Sense is 60 feet.
There is a slight sense of fiend coming from where James is standing as well.
I felt that before. Is it stronger than it was before, or same?
Not the same.
Okay. And the ceremony, specific ceremony that he is using is funeral rite.
Okay.
And he touches Brakka's corpse. I just want to make sure that the spell seems to affect wash over the body.
Yeah. Yes. There is a glow deep down that sort of illuminates the wood, this chopped hole that you've created in the center. Really, only you can see it, but perhaps those of you in the crowd can see a faint glow on the underside of Uggo's chin.
Since Uggo had to drop Rage in order to cast spells, he activates Rage again, bringing forth the ancestors. And he asked, Lily, please, may I have the box?
Yes, here you go.
Thank you.
And he opens it.
These are seeds from this tree. Galira gave her life to protect them from my father. I think it is fitting it now be used to grow not one tree, but 3. 1 for each ancestor that has guided Uggo so far. First, human ancestor. Gurk, come.
He moves forward.
Uggo picks up one of the seeds and hands it to Gurk.
Gurk, the kind. You shall have the honor of planting the first seed with human ancestor.
And he turns and sees this spectral form, this immense, brawny, muscled human. And there is... The Orcs of Thorn have seen your spectral ancestors before, but to include a human in this orcish ceremony definitely causes an audible gasp from some of the assembled orcs. Gurk nods and walks over to one of the holes and drops the seed in, and then picks up 2 handfuls of soil that he had just displaced and pours it on top of the seed as the spectral ancestor hovers there, silent, huge, glowing, these wisps of spectral energy emitting from it, just watching this young orc cover the seed in this pit of corpses.
Thorn has forgotten its rage. It has lost connection. This ancestor. This is Thorn's ancestor, and shall show Thorn, as he has shown Uggo, how rage can be used. Gilgash,
Yes, what Chief?
take this seed. Follow female ancestor. Plant seed.
He reaches out his hand and you place the seed in his palm. And he turns and this spectral female orc starts to move, hover, glide toward the next hole that has been dug with corpses in it. And Bogash, he waddles over himself and arrives at the hole, and he places the seed into it, leans over and plucks some of the freshly dug soil and drops it over the top of the seed as well.
Thorn has forgotten its community. This orc has reminded Uggo what it means to be orc. That family and community is important to remember and respect. Thorn shall remember. And finally, I shall plant the final seed. And Uggo pulls the last seed and tosses the box behind him and looks at the much larger ogre-sized ancestor.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And looks out to the crowd. Thorn has forgotten its skills. We were once very strong, smart, and skilled. This ancestor has reminded Uggo what is possible when you concentrate, focus, and are honest. And Uggo places the seed in the hole, and just as the other two did, buries the seed with the dirt.
Mm-hmm.
Climbs back up onto the stump. And now, Jeff, I'm going a little off script here, but I'd like to focus some of my of the ancestors' energy, the very basic. I want to channel this into the body of Brakka. Uggo's hope is that if he does this, it will kickstart the ancestors to forgive the Thorn Orcs, and hopefully, in Uggo's final last-ditch effort, maybe offer Brakka in the afterlife a bit of a way of a redemption from the horrible experiences that he had to experience as an orc in this land and in this world. I've got one rage left. I don't know what other than to do than Uggo he gives as much of himself as he can into Brakka and this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and you muster all of the rage that you can find deep down in yourself, and Uggo leans his head back and screams this primal orcish yell, your tusks outstretched, your throat protruding, this incredible shout that rings out through the forest, leaves fluttering, creatures scurrying.
I was hoping, because this tree takes forever to grow, we don't really have a lot of time.
Yeah.
That's really what what he really wants. He just wants the tree to grow.
Well, the ancestors can infuse the tree with energy. They are standing there. They are over these seeds. Each of the three of them are over these seeds. There is an energy that they can release, but that same energy is connected to you. That is the rage that Uggo feels, that Uggo touches upon when you rage. And so everyone in the crowd feels this this enormous crescendo, this thunderous shout as the ancestors, as they would in battle when you call upon them, infuse their might and their support into this act in the same way they would infuse it into the act of battle.
Yeah, I don't think Uggo's holding back here.
Yeah.
I think he's giving everything. This is his moment, right? This is the moment. Brakka's death was not the moment. This, for me, for Uggo, and for me, I mean, for me as the player, this is the moment that Uggo has been wanting for his entire life. He'll give everything he can.
Okay. Well, I'll tell you what. Down in the Underfury, you felt this moment when you were fighting the Aboleth, when you were disconnected from the ancestors. If you want to sever that relationship with the ancestors and leave them here, leave them with Brakka, then that's your choice. You can do that. If that's
All of them? He has to give up all of them?
I'm not saying he has to. I'm saying that if that's what you are. I mean, I think Uggo has now experienced that moment where you were disconnected from the ancestors, right? So if you want to truly give something that that will infuse this tree with your experience and life force, then you can choose to sever your relationship with the ancestors and forge that relationship with these seeds, with this new tree here, and leave them in this spot.
Can I intervene as his legal counsel? And advise him maybe not to do that, because you could lose rage permanently?
Did Sir Helvengard show up? Sorry.
I don't know, but if he was here, he'd probably... All right, I'll shut up. I'll shut up.
I mean, no. I mean, I get.
I'm just following your lead here.
Yeah, no. I get it.
I'm trying. You're trying to say that you.
You know what? No.
You want to have that. You want to have a moment where Uggo truly gives something of himself. And
well, here's the thing. This is Uggo, not Ron. Ron doesn't want that. Ron does not want that.
Aww.
But Uggo does. And Uggo. Oh God, I can't believe I'm about to say this. Uggo will give everything, every connection he's had with the ancestors, and he even says it. You know what? He says it out loud. Uggo! Sacrifice again! So Thorn will reign and live free! And sure enough, he concentrates on that. I'm sorry, guys.
It's okay.
Yeah, Jeff, he's given it all. It's gone.
Whoa.
He'll let it go.
Can we try to stop him, Jeff?
I don't think we know what he's doing.
I want to
Do
be
we? I mean, what do we see?
I mean,
An exorcism.
Yeah, kind
really.
of. It is kind of an exorcism.
Yeah.
I think what this is. So, if we're gonna do this, we should go all the way with it, Ron. I want you to be really clear.
Okay.
The same thing will happen that happened in the Underfury when you had no access to your ancestors. You are basically giving up all your levels of barbarian.
If Civ sees this happening, he would do something. So you need to tell me what Civ sees. If he doesn't see anything, if this is just a private moment with Uggo and his ancestors.
I mean,
then
I'm not
I'll
sure
shut
you
up.
would be able to interpret what is happening. I'll let you roll to see if you can. But what I think
Sure.
you're seeing is sort of an excruciating.
Like an insight check, maybe. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
sort
if
of
I see him in so much pain to where it looks like he's gonna die, then Civ would do something. He
Well, I don't
wouldn't
think
just
he's gonna
stand there.
die. It's not that he's gonna die. It's that he is literally.
Severing the ties to his
Yeah.
ancestors, which is all his character was based on in the
Yeah.
last 80 something episodes.
No, but
That's
what
right.
was it based on, Jared?
Civ doesn't know that. Civ
Well,
doesn't
so-
know that.
You know, so I'll say this. Basically, what will happen if we do this, and Ron, I want you to be real sure. I think this is a cool idea, but
I, for the record,
You-
do not think this is a cool idea.
how many levels in Paladin do you have?
3.
So you will be a level 3 Paladin.
What?
Dude.
What?
No.
Wait, what?
Oh my gosh.
There must be some kind of.
Oh.
Well, you're gonna level up faster than us.
Yeah, he'll die. He won't have enough hit points to get through the next
No, we'll
fight.
protect him.
What? We can't even protect Meep. Those are front line.
We'll do
Jeff,
it. We'll do a seance.
I'm gonna charge him. If I see him doing this, I'm gonna charge him.
I'll
run up that tree.
What
and
does it
I'll
look
tackle
like?
him.
I don't.
We don't know. You
Yeah, I mean, I think
know.
I
what
see
you're
my
saying-
friend screaming in pain. He's standing over Brakka. I don't trust this.
But
My-
you got.
And I also,
instinct-
Uggo does say he'll sacrifice for Thorn.
Yeah,
so reign
he's
free
always
again.
sacrificing himself. No, I'm charging him. I'm tackling him. I'm stopping this.
You gotta
I'm
let him make his
stopping.
choice if he wants to.
He can still make his choice, and I'm making my choice too.
All right,
I'm
well,
not going to let him do it.
What
He
the
would do the
orcs?
same thing for me. If I was doing this, he would do the same thing for me. I want to roll. I want to roll something.
All right, roll an insight check. Roll an insight check to see if you can discern how because obviously this is a big.
We all know
ceremony
insight is
anyway.
my best skill.
You have advantage from kitty scritches.
All right, thank you, Kitty Scritches. That's probably going to save me. Natural 20.
Oh!
Could not have been better times.
All right.
I am going to charge and tackle him. Hey, you want me to take a picture? I will take a picture. I haven't touched my desk. I will
believe
take
you.
a picture right now.
Of course, trust you, Jeff. As soon as does Uggo see him move? Does Uggo see?
I think
Civ
in your
move?
rage, you certainly would see Civ come charging out of the crowd, and I wonder if if the orcs of Thorn see a Tabaxi charging at their sacred tree while their war chief is
Posting it on
is
Discord.
screaming.
Wait, what are you posting on Discord?
My role, because I don't want anybody calling me out on this.
What you could have just turned it and taken a picture of it.
All good.
I mean, I also think at
Yeah,
this point, what can happen is, Civ, you do reach Uggo. Uggo, you are. I mean, I haven't even determined yet, Ron, if this is something you want to do, because this is a big deal. So you have to decide if this is something you want to do. But if it is something you want to do, Civ can get to you in that moment and look you square in the face as all of the orcs of Thorn are kind of coming up to defend their.
Well, Uggo will scream no to them, take his eyes off Civ for a second, and say no, and then I assume we are like in. I think Uggo is still channeling this.
Yeah,
into
Uggo, you are channeling this over this whole Civ. You have come and leapt and it bounded in 3 times in this incredible feline Tabaxi manner.
I use
and
my
you
racial
pounced.
ability to double my movement if that gets me there quicker.
Yeah, you
As
pounced.
soon as he gets there, Uggo looks at him and says, "I know, friend. What would you do? What would you give for Ozvach?"
I tackle you.
Scott, you're on your back. You're on your back, Uggo. Civ is on top of you. Unless you want to try to do a contest of strength, which you
Yeah, let's do a contest.
I will lose that.
My
right.
boys, my boys.
Civ, you have advantage from Kitty Scritches, and Uggo, you have advantage
Kitty Scritches.
from 12 pint sips, countered by Make It Make Sense. Make it make sense. We're trying.
Just for flavor, she's not gonna actually do anything. But I think if Uggo was screaming in anguish, Meep would also fly over as a comfort, as a celestial being.
All right,
Also,
so that-
Lily's right there too.
Yeah.
19.
Is this athletics or just strength?
you're gonna
Athletics,
beat-
if it's
Yeah,
athletics, it's big.
You're gonna beat me either way.
Yeah, athletics is 23.
Dang it. Dang it. All right, I got a 22.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my
So,
gosh.
Uggo, tell me how you would like to handle Civ's attempted tackle of you.
I think what Uggo will do is use his energy to toss him from the tree to like
Like a
let
sort
him
of
go
taekwondo
through.
style, just
Yeah,
like, or
kinda
judo
like-
style, I mean. Yeah.
Yeah, like and as he does so, he says, he whispers. Actually, I'm raging, so I don't know if I can whisper. You hear him say to you, Jared, or you say to Civ, Uggo has faith! And yeah, Jeff, I'm gonna give all 7.
Oh my god!
So,
What?
Thorn deserves it!
Civ, he takes you, turns and tosses you off. You know the strength of your friend. You have felt.
Can I get an attack in?
I don't think so.
Don't.
Not if you lose the
Don't.
contest. You have felt your friend pull you up when you needed him to pluck you out of raging waters. You've felt him push and shove and use his maul with the strength of a massive raging barbarian. And now you feel that same barbarian strength leveraged to turn and push you out of your path, your trajectory. You fall, and with your tabaxi dexterity, you roll and hit the ground and roll. There's large tree trunks by you, and you feel just as he does that, as he pushes that last bit of strength, it drains out of his body. And there is this burst of energy, this rupture, as the ancestors themselves, standing at the 3 pits, raise their arms, holding these spectral weapons in them. The human male, the orcish female, and the ogre. And all 3 of them look at you, Uggo, with tears in their eyes.
You save Uggo! Now Uggo save you!
And they start to dissipate. Bits of their spectral forms coming apart at the seams. You see them standing stoically looking at you, their weapons raised, and they start to settle into the holes that they were hovering above. The pieces flaking off, bits of spectral energy wisping out as if no longer contained within. And you see that energy seep down. Each of them in those 3 spots seep down and land on that bit of soil that rests atop that seed. The spectral form of these ancestors, no more humanoid, but a glowing orb hovering over the seed. And there is a flash in each of those holes. A sound that reverberates. And then this incredible crunching. The sound of growth and movement as the seeds sprout thick and wide and full, growing up and out of the soil. You see a thin vine starting, and then tendrils around it. Bits of vine wrapping themselves, coming up slowly from each of these spots, these 3 holes, building and constructing and growing. Thick green saplings expanding, browning, bark emerging from the sides of them. 3 trees out of the roots of one, growing higher and higher, building, using the energy of the ancestors that has been released, that has been sacrificed by Uggo in that moment, to touch the life force and infuse the life of this and this and this tree, each of the 3 of them growing up and out, forming 3 giant, wide trunks where once there was only one. And Uggo in the center of that spot, in the center of that severed trunk where the single ancestral tree once was, where the burial tree had been cut at its roots, you lay there, weakened, different, unable to touch your rage, your barbarian instincts, all of the strength and energy you had gotten, you had learned, all of that experience drained out of you. And you look down at the hole where your brother's body was, his headless corpse laying there. And you are the only one that sees a faint spectral form of Brakka's head on that neck stump laying there. A spectral head that does not look like the Brakka you fought in the Underfury, that does not have the blackened eyes and the red veins, the sickly thin pasty skin. A Brakka that looks like you knew him when you were boys, when you were young at your father's knee. That Brakka. Spectral.
And Mama can now rest, brother.
And even that starts to fade and flake and break away. And what's left in that hole, in that pit, in that chopped centerpiece of the stump is a glow. A glow like candlelight. A faint, warm, flickering glow. The rage that you once held for Brakka, for your father, for the things that you did down in that pit, replaced.
Uggo will reach out and touch it, or try to touch the flame.
You feel its warmth. You feel that commitment, that oath. And you turn and you look at Civ lying amidst the branches, amidst the roots of the tree. And you turn and you look at James and Fahima and Lily standing there watching you as 3 mighty trees grow where once only one stood.
May Thorn reign forever.
approach Uggo and help him approach him and
Uggo
hold
will
it.
get down and
that-
to try to.
And that is when the demons come out of the woods.
What?
Roll initiative after we get back from intermission.
Oh my god!
Wow.
Come on, you guys didn't see the demons coming?
You were supposed to scout.
Yeah, what happened?
I thought you guys had my back. I thought you were going to be watching Uggo so he doesn't do something stupid. I turn away for 2 seconds. 2 seconds.
That was beautiful.
I didn't know what he was doing.
That was beautiful.
Ron, my goodness.
Good lord.
Okay, we're gonna put
it's
you through
classic-
boot camp. We're gonna get
it's
you those
classic
levels really
Ron.
fast.
It's
We're just
classic
gonna
Ron.
we're gonna
How many
grind.
times-
That
How
was
many times
that was
in this-
incredible.
How many times in this campaign has he tried to sacrifice himself for all of us? How many times?
I've never
knew he
seen.
was gonna
I've
do
never.
it.
I played
At
a lot
least
of
thrice.
D&D. I've never seen anyone give up 7 levels before.
I got to be honest. I played a lot of D&D myself. I have never given up 7 before. And
It's
to be
gotta be a
honest, I'm a
record.
little afraid.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I'm terrified.
Yeah, I'm absolutely terrified.
I got to thank some folks in the middle of that. We did not pause for potato action, which we should have. I appreciate everyone. We got gold potatoes from Lisbon Wolf, LZBN Wolf, Lesbian Wolf, maybe it's Lesbian Wolf. Whatever it is, thank you, LZBN Wolf. We also got that guy named Rodney giving us a golden potato. Both of you extraordinarily generous. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It is so appreciated. But that pales in comparison to the number of evil yams that we got. Syntax again with an evil yam. Another evil yam from Syntax. Another evil yam from the Carson. And Shiny 8-Bit Boo with 2 more evil yams.
Oh my god!
Incredible. Thank you, thank you, thank you all for those. Plus, we got balloons from Shiny 8-Bit Boo, Squid Bob Tentacle Pants, Spectre Range, and 2O Mask 6603. Thank you. It brings the current tug of war to Team Force of Good, 37%. Team Force of Evil, 63%.
That's fair. That's fair.
Wow.
So, thank you all for that. We will be right back after a brief intermission. Stick around. Sorry for my terrible video.
You're doing great.
And we're back. Thanks for hanging out during intermission. We really appreciate all the folks that have been giving us those potatoes and yams and balloons this episode. It's extremely generous. Thank you. And thank you all of you who are supporters on Patreon. You're awesome. All right, where we left off.
I think we were going to take a poll with the audience to decide whether or not Uggo decides to give up 7 levels of barbarian. I think that's where we're at this point.
I think the audience probably would have polled the same way Ron did.
No!
Knowing our audience. Okay, so what happens here is Civ, you are the first to notice it because they're coming directly behind you as you sit there looking back at Uggo. You see, you hear noises behind you, and you turn to see these leathery creatures with spiky backs and big clawed hands come moving out of the thicket, out of the woods, and moving over the cover, over the roots that are protruding from the ground, advancing on the team. So everybody roll initiative.
Yeah. Are these the speed demons we fought before, or is this a different kind of demon?
These are different demons.
I should have been a little closer to Uggo, so I'm going to move myself.
Civ, you have advantage from Dadpool 1980. Fahima, you have advantage from the Cosmic Lord, countered by Make It Make Sense. I'm taking that name personally, by the way.
You do say it with an intonation.
Make it make sense.
Make it make sense.
Aggressive. We have James. You have advantage from Spider Falla. Uggo, you have advantage from Kitty Scritches, countered by Make It Make Sense. And Lily, you have advantage from the Cosmic Lord, countered by Make It Make Sense. Putting their money where their mouth is, I guess. Can't complain about that.
I got a dirty 20.
Nat 20 for a 22.
Nice.
I got a 23. Not nat 20.
I just lost 7 levels, so I'm still trying to figure out what my initial.
Sorry, I wasn't ready for that. Everybody do that again. Civ, what did you say? 22?
23.
23.
And, Morgan is 22.
James 22, yeah.
And Lily, what did you say?
Dirty 20.
Okay. And Fahima?
8.
Nice.
Yeah.
And Uggo, what did you say? You
7.
haven't figured it out yet. 7? Welcome to the new Uggo.
Because his initiative was pumped up from his barbarianness.
Of course it was.
So
I'm sorry, I'm 2 beers deep at this point. I'm started drinking. Don't know about
I love
you guys.
it. I love it. I love the noises. So do we know that we see that he's weakened, kind of like Hercules when he like gives up his godly power at the end of the movie, but do we know that he's
think of it more like Superman 2? But yes, whatever.
Yes, Jeff. Yes.
Cool.
Oh, okay. Hercules reference wasn't good enough. That's my childhood.
0 to hero, baby.
Just
I'm
like
with you.
that. Hey, do we know that he has lost these levels, or what's our in-game knowledge of what's going on with Uggo right now?
I would say it's clear to you that something has occurred and that he does seem to be weakened, and I think it is clear to you and all of the assembled orcs that there has been this sacrifice, and especially seeing Civ run from the crowd and try to tackle Uggo, all of you are clear that there is something. I mean, obviously Civ saw something, right? He rolled that natural 20. He saw something that really worried him in what Uggo was doing. Mm-hmm. And so I think that alone would cause you all consternation and worry that Civ was so alarmed by what he saw Uggo doing that he rushed the stump, as it were. So I don't think you know specifically what has happened, but I think it is clear to you that Uggo is weakened, has sacrificed something of himself, and is vulnerable. I think that is a clear indication he's vulnerable.
And as he kind of instigated this sacrifice, our understanding is that he knows that he's lost these levels as a character. Like, he knows he doesn't have the same barbarian power he once had.
Yeah, Uggo is very well aware that he no longer is able to do the things that he once did. All he has left is that connection with the Candle Queen that he had, that oath to the family that he has vowed, and the abilities that oath granted him. and he definitely feels himself weaker and more vulnerable as well. Ultimately less robust and able to withstand damage. And I think Uggo, you are clear that you no longer are able to rage and do all those things that a barbarian.
I've
would
also
do.
lost all of my feats and some ability points. So that's
I was just gonna say, how does that affect your abilities?
Yeah.
Is that because as you level
yeah.
up, just generally you gain ability
at 4th
points?
level, I
and-
took a feat. At 8th
Yep.
level, I took 2 ability scores.
He doesn't have Sentinel anymore.
Are you
Sentinel anymore.
freaking kidding me,
I'll
dude?
be honest, I'm in undiscovered country too right now, so I
It
have
was
no
Ron's
idea.
idea.
I have no idea what this means.
Can you maybe just like take out a couple demons out of this fight?
No, I said, gameplay wise, I am scared to death. Storytelling wise, it was one of the most beautiful things I've ever seen.
Okay, so the fight begins, and Civ, you are the first to notice it, which is appropriate because you are the top of the initiative order as well. So as you see these disgusting creatures move out of the thicket, what do you do?
I pick myself up.
All right, that's half your movement.
Dust myself off.
Dust myself off. And I very loudly and poignantly say to the other orcs in Orcish, "Your war chief has sacrificed for you. Now it is your turn to sacrifice for him. Kill the demons!" And then I'm going to draw 2 weapons and charge this first 2 daggers. Sorry, short sword and a dagger. And
Okay.
charge this first demon and attack him twice.
Okay.
How big did you say they were, Jeff? Are they're humanoid size?
Yeah, they're medium-sized
Okay.
creatures. And
I need
you
advantages and
have 2
disadvantages.
attacks. Is that right, Civ?
Yeah, bonus action and action.
All right. So you
doesn't-
have
yeah.
advantage from Fail Waffle on the first, and
Whoa.
Kitty Scritches on the second.
Wow. This is
Yeah,
a
who
weird,
would've known?
weird day.
Who would have thunk it?
Yeah, 17 plus a bunch, plus 10.
Yeah, that hits.
So 27.
Hits.
And oh, that might not hit. 18?
18 points of damage? Or
No, 18 to hit.
Now both
for
of
the
those
second.
hit, yes.
Okay, great. Give me a second to roll damage. $10, 20, 23, 35 points of damage.
Holy moly. Okay. So you run up to that first one and you wallop it, stabbing.
I'll do
after
short sword to the head and then try to take out its kneecap with my dagger.
Dang.
Green blood gushes from these wounds as these things screeches in agony. You see it is very badly wounded. It's hobbling, but it continues to try to move forward and reach for you. Does that complete your turn?
Yeah, I'm hoping those other orcs get in on this because we don't have a barbarian anymore.
All right.
So I'm definitely looking over my shoulder.
James, is your turn, and then Lily, you'll be next.
Got it. Yeah, I was leaning down to help Uggo up, but I probably see the vulnerability there, and then I see the fight going on. So James nods down at Uggo. I'm proud of you. And then I step over you and start heading in that direction. I cast my hood off and cast Armor of Agathis on myself.
Nice.
3, 4, 5, 6. So, and that'll get me about there.
Okay.
That's my action, and that's my movement. And yeah, I'm just sort of, come on, waiting for these other demons. I'm standing there basically on the front lines.
Okay.
Yeah.
That brings us to Lily's turn.
Okay, I'm going to run up to Uggo and basically kind of just be checking in with him. Uggo, are you okay? And then while I'm doing this, just cast Shatter without looking
love
in
it.
between. Oh, I'm clicking on the screen that's not actually real. In between them, right there.
Those two? Okay.
So it's a 10-foot radius. So I think if I cast it right there, it should hit both of them
Yep.
just fine. And I'm gonna cast it at a level. Let's do it just at level 4. Why not?
Why not? Go crazy. I roll dex saves or what's the save? I never remember.
Con. Yeah.
Con saves.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yep.
Okay, so on the front, this is
Like
delightful.
the one of my only ones that's con. That's why it's confusing.
I love this. On the first one, I have advantage from Shiny 8-Bit Boo, countered by Shiny 8-Bit Boo.
Thank you for your support.
Indeed. And on the second one, I have advantage from Shiny 8-Bit Boo. So the first one, con save, is a natural 1. Natural 1 on the first one. The second one, I have advantage, and I rolled a 13.
Nope.
Nope. Neither of those.
Failed
will save.
on both. Okay.
So they both take 22 points of damage.
Woo,
Dang.
doggies. All right. So Lily,
Thunder damage.
as she leans over and checks in on Uggo, she just casually casts Shatter, and this incredible thunder damage, this reverberating explosion of sound between these two demons. You see it peel back some of their skin as they screech in pain. You said 22 on each, right?
Yeah.
Fantastic. All right. Does that complete your turn?
Yeah. I mean, again, just checking in with Uggo, making sure he's okay.
Uggo, do you respond to her in any way?
I mean, I think I'll go loss of breath, kind of. I might even think that the healthiness part of his skin is probably a little bit. His face might look a little sunken in.
Okay. I guess she's trying to I think he's in a state of shock, so just provide some calm comfort while also taking care of those dudes.
All right, it is the demon's turn. So this one is going to attack Civ with its, I believe, 2 attacks. Multi-attack. So the first is advantage from Shiny 8-Bit Boo, and the second is advantage from Shiny 8-Bit Boo. So, oh my god, I rolled a 5 and a 2. So that is only 8 to hit on the first.
Nope.
And the second is, natural 20. So that will be that will be 8 points of slashing damage plus 7, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 points of necrotic damage.
So 16 plus 8,
yeah.
so 24.
24.
I'm going to uncanny dodge that and turn it into a 12.
Whoa.
Oof.
All right, so that happens as it bites at you. This one's going to run up and stupidly attack Mr. Armor of Agathis over here.
You're not demony enough yet to get it to think you're its friend.
No, probably not.
I got
like
advantage from
human.
12 pint sips on the first and advantage from AG McLeod on the second. So that's already probably going to be a hit. 18 on the first
That hits.
and 13 on the second.
That misses.
All right.
It's actually kind of hard to miss James at this point, so...
So the first one is 6 points of slashing damage plus 8 points of necrotic damage.
These guys are strong.
Yeah, they're demons.
I know.
25 points of cold damage for that one.
Oh! And as it slashes into you, it explodes in this icy, shattering explosion that kills it.
Wow.
Cool.
I mean, it had gotten shattered as well.
Yep.
True.
And this one, 5, 10, 15, 20. Wait, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 can make it to Lily. And it is going to
If it runs by me, I'm going to do an attack of opportunity against it with a shocking grasp.
5, 10, 15, 20, 20. It doesn't have to. It can avoid you.
Okay.
So it will attack twice at you, Lily. I have advantage from Shiny 8-Bit Boo both times. Thank you, Shiny 8-Bit Boo. And that is...
Can I cutting words it? I'm going to use one of my Bardic Inspiration dice to reduce it by a d10.
Okay. Well, let's see if it even hits you first. That is only 11.
I always forget to say it until after you've said the damage. So.
It is 12 to hit on the first.
Nope.
Oop.
Come on.
17 to hit on the second.
That does hit.
Okay.
Well, you can cutting words the attack though,
And possibly make it miss.
yes. Cutting words does either damage or against attack rolls, does it not?
I thought it was just.
I thought it was just a damage, but I could be wrong.
Ability check, attack, ability check, or damage rolls.
Oh yeah, no, yeah, it's attack. You can make it
could.
reduce the attack.
I just don't know if I can because I can't find my d10. So
I can roll a d10 for you if you want.
that'd be great.
5.
So it was a 17.
17, so it was a 12
that doesn't
then.
hit. Yeah, great.
Nice.
All right, so
Excellent.
both miss.
So one of them, I'm just in a state of shock, just hiss at it, and it.
All right.
That's my cutting words.
Fahima, your turn.
Thanks, Ron.
No orcs before me?
No orcs before you.
Whoa. Okay. All right, so let's see, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. I gotta figure out how far I can run here. 10, 5, 10, 15, 20. So I can run on the diagonal, yeah? And does also range count when it's on the diagonal?
Yes.
I'm trying to get within 30 feet of both of the demons. That's what I'm trying to do right now. 15, 20, 30, 10, 5, 10, 15, 20, 30. I think I can if I just come up like here.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Within
10.
2,
Yeah.
3. Yeah, that looks good. Yeah, 6.
Is that 30? Yeah?
You're
Oh,
good.
nice. Wow, what a handy tool.
Thanks, roll 20.
Okay. So this is kind of a big spell for only 2 creatures, but Fahima is going to call out to Meep and yell, Meep! It's time to strike! And she's going to cast Phoenix Fire Strike and attack both of the demons. Now, this spell says I can target up to 5, but that doesn't give me 5 attacks, right?
Correct.
Okay. So I'm just going to roll to hit.
Y'all done did it now.
On 2.
Yeah. If there's fewer than 5, then you just get, you can do up to 5, but if there's fewer than 5, you don't get to just multiply it, use them on the same target.
Yeah, okay. Do I have any advantages?
You do. You have advantage from a jar full of bees, countered by Make It Make Sense.
No!
On the first and the second, you have advantage from Fall Star.
Yay! Okay. Please,
Jessica,
please,
Is
please.
it a concentration spell?
No, it's just a one-time attack.
Actually, I couldn't. Anyway, I didn't take you this morning.
That's a 10 plus 9, 19.
Well, that hits. Yeah.
That's pretty good, actually.
I was gonna lie. You're fine.
Modifire's pretty good, actually. And natural 20 on the second one.
Oh.
Yes, thank you for that advantage. Okay, so Meep is going to, I guess, give me the ability to teleport to each target, right?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And Fahima does the fire damage.
Yeah,
so that's
Meep flies and tags each target, and then you teleport there and explode at each point.
right.
In pretty spectacular fashion.
Okay, so I need to roll 6d10 for each of these.
Wait, one of them crits though.
Yeah.
Yeah, 12
Yeah,
d10.
I'm rolling my first one. Oh, which I rolled.
Wait, is this? Are you sure it's 6d10? That seems like a.
Yeah, 6d10 fire damage.
That's
Yeah.
You made the
Nice.
spell, Jeff.
It's,
It's
no.
Seal Wind Strike. It's just
It's a regular spell. Yeah. Okay.
But that's a pretty high level spell, isn't it?
Yeah, it's
It
doing-
is. It's
Yeah.
a 5. It's a 5th level.
Yeah, I mean that makes sense because you can do fireball at a level 5, and that's what 10d6.
Yeah.
Something like that.
So 35 on the first one, the not crit.
Okay.
And
that one had, by the way, that one had 5 points left, but that's okay. I like it.
And then I'm just using a calculator here. My regular damage is, oh my god, what? I love you. That's without doing my critical bonus, that's 49 points of damage on the next one.
94.
I mean, if you want to find out your crit bonus, you can.
I do.
Yeah. All right, you've already obliterated this thing.
Do we just double it?
I mean,
double the 49.
Yeah, sure.
98.
I mean, what difference does it make at this point? You're just gonna
Look, I just want to see what my record is, okay?
Yeah, do it. Do it. Roll it. Roll it.
Massive ball of fire erupts at each of these locations as meat flies down, and as soon as she reaches the first target and the second target, an explosion as Fahima disappears from her position. Both of these demons completely destroyed.
And what I'm gonna do is teleport to the one that's closer to Uggo, so that I end up after these attacks next to my buddy.
Right there, basically. Within 5 feet of where it was.
Or closer to Lily, so I'm within that huddle. Yeah.
All right. So you have completely the charred bodies of demon fall. There's just smoke emitting from these bodies. You look around, and 2 more demons follow these 2 coming out of the darkness. Uggo, it is your turn, but as you lie there, weakened, Orcs of Thorn start rushing forward, and you see something extraordinary, Uggo. You see a front line, 2, 3, 4 orcs reach down and touch something deep inside themselves and pull rage forth from deep within them. And they sprint forward because they can see a target. They can move double their speed. They rush forward at these demons that are coming at them and slice into them, cutting, slicing throats, chopping into arms. There's clubs being smacked. They are defending their war chief, who is just sacrificed for them, and watched as the Heroes of Bingle took out multiple orcs. And you see this throng of enraged Thorn citizens rush forward and start smacking and beating and slicing and cutting at these orcs, finishing this fight.
Demons, you mean?
What's
Demons.
that?
Demons.
You said orcs. They're
What did I
cutting
say?
demons.
Sorry, no, the orcs are killing the demons.
Yeah.
And in the aftermath, Uggo, you are still laying there. You didn't even need to fight as your people, the Orcs of Thorn, and your friends, your family stepped forward and fought first, and then the orcs, finding something in themselves, inspired by your sacrifice, infused, watching you conjure that rage and touch your ancestors, they, in this sacred spot, also managed to find a way to conjure rage without the Aboleth's influence. It is tenuous, it is uncertain at moments, but it is effective, and it seems like they are taking their first steps toward once again finding the barbarism that they can use in a positive sense to defend themselves. And they slay these orcs, or I keep saying that, they slay these demons that come out of the woods. You watch as this fight concludes, you watch as the orcs start to cut into the demons and sever their skins as they had under Brakka, to fashion them into more camouflage, to take them as trophies. You see them, there is this thrill of the kill that they once had. There is this satisfaction of having defended a sacred place, and there is a pride at having stepped in front of their war chief, who was vulnerable and laying on the stump of their ancient tree.
Uggo. Are you okay?
I
have to
don't know how
answer.
to answer that.
You don't have to answer. That's a hard question. I'll just say this. I'm here for you.
Yes,
Me too.
thank you. I'm sorry, Civ. You
I
can
just shake
forgive
my
me
head
later.
and shrug.
So what happens now?
Now we go to Turles.
I'm sorry. I don't understand fully what happened already.
He gave it up. He gave it all up. For Thorn.
Ancestors live in trees now.
Thorn can protect itself.
You're a hero.
Yeah. A true hero, Uggo.
Maybe one day. For now,
Yeah.
hero of Thorn. Heroes of Thorn.
Go.
Kirk.
You sacrificed like the wardens did. You gave up something that was crucial to your being.
But the opposite of what they did. They did that too. Make everyone forget. Uggo gave, so they may remember. Already working.
I like your method a bit better.
Don't go doing what Uggo did.
We got you.
Yeah, let's get you back to them.
Let's get out. Let's
Sleep.
get back. Night is coming, and it's only going to get worse out here. So come on.
The orcs sort of clean the kills. Bogash indicates that he will leave a skeleton crew here to make sure that the area around the tree is secure, and he leads the procession back as Uggo and the rest of you are able to walk back toward Thorn as well. And Bogash says,
A true leader gives of himself. Uggo, you are a worthy war chief. I will strive to live up to your example when you are gone.
James,
Yes,
get Bogash name in book.
already done.
Thank you, brother.
Of course.
Jeff, do I see the 900 gold piece, 900 dwarven gold piece orc? Is he here?
roll me a perception check. You have advantage. No, you don't. Straight roll as far as I'm concerned.
13.
No, you do not.
Of course. Of course.
Bogash!
This is awesome.
Yes, war chief.
Uggo pulls from his pack his torn flag of Thorn.
Raise.
I'm sorry, what did you say?
Center. Raise. Put in center of city. Let it flow and fly.
He takes it.
This flag was your mother's, was it not?
Yes.
I will do as you wish, war chief.
And Uggo, as you start to move back through the crowd and as they start to sort of circle around you and make the procession back toward the city, all of them, this energy around them, this renewed sense of confidence, seeing your sacrifice, seeing you touch the rage without the need of this external source, this connection that you had to your ancestors, that you relinquished, that you connected to the tree, that you gave back to the city itself. There is this feeling of confidence that was gone, that was lost after the Aboleth was destroyed. And you notice, Uggo, as you start walking on the outskirts of the crowd, sort of keeping distance from them, a wolf with auburn and gray hair.
Mama.
What is the wolf doing?
It is observing, walking, keeping its distance, watching this entire scene, staying apart from it, but apace with it. You see it watch you with eyes that sparkle, eyes that are observant and always focused.
Uggo will try to indicate to her that he sees her. And then we'll continue on with the processional.
Eventually, all of you get back to Thorn, and the city sort of, prepares for nightfall. The procession dissipates, and there is this feeling in Thorn, unlike anything that those of you who had never been here before have felt. A resumption of the duties of the town. There is a sort of like getting back on track feeling that is palpable.
Jeff, can I find Bogash?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
I'm gonna saddle up next to him and whisper into his ear, "We have a big problem on our hands, and I hope you realize that we are going to need your help."
I'm listening to Baxter.
He is usually the one that protects the rest of us. We are on a very important mission, and he just gave it all up for Thorn. Do you have any idea how important our mission is?
I must admit my allegiance lies with this city and its people.
Well, your city is not going to mean anything if the forces of evil that we are fighting against win. Ukdun will come here with machines. No amount of rage is going to stop a machine. Worse, Osvach is joining in on this secret war. They will do everything within their power to crush you when they realize that you are not on their side. So either you're going to have to pretend to be on their side, which is very dangerous, trying to lie to the oligarchs, or you're going to have to face them, which is also very dangerous. Uggo is going to have to go with us to Turles. I cannot protect him, not like he protects me. I need 2 of your best orcs. I need them to come with us and protect Uggo. Bodyguards, whatever you want to call them, I don't care. I will pay you for these orcs. I will buy their services.
I do not need your gold, but I am sensitive to what you speak of. I do not command the Orcs of Thorn unless it is in my war chief's stead. If it is Uggo's wish to send orcs in your party, then it is Uggo's command. But I will not give the authority to a tabaxi, no matter how slick your orcish.
You are making a big mistake.
If Uggo wills it, it will be done.
Fine, then I will convince him.
As
I
we
walk
walk
away.
As we walk back, Fahima,
Yeah.
I think we should go to Torvald and tell him about Diph Theed.
Of course.
We're on our way out, and I can't help be afraid for leaving her here alone.
Yes, especially in light of that great sacrifice. It feels wrong.
I know personally what comes from leaving someone isolated with no friends and very little hope. If we leave her and go on our way, we're going to lose her.
But leaving her in the Ashen Mage's grasp just feels somehow. I don't know. It could be worse.
I don't know. It could be, and that's why I want to talk to Torvald about it. But I think that it would feel like a step in the right direction, because we will, if we send her to her people, we at least keep the chance. We have the chance of keeping her as an ally. If we strand her here, we will just make another enemy. And I don't know what she knows. I don't know how much she knows that the Ashen Mage doesn't already know.
Well, that's what we could get from Torvald.
Yeah.
But you don't think that she won't continue to progress into this anger if she's with the Drow?
I know for certain she will if she's left alone.
This is the thing. We have to stay many steps ahead of the Ashen Mage. She's always several steps ahead of us. So, what's the first step? First step is we're the good guys, right? We send her in earnest. We just want her to be happy and safe. That's step one. Step two is that she's our inside person, right? She's our ally in the lion's den. Well, the Ashen Mage will be a step ahead of that. She knows that we're thinking that. So she thinks, okay, I'll take Diph Theed and I'll feed her information, I'll torture her to get information, I'll turn her to my side. Any number of ways that she could use Diph Theed against us.
She said that she doesn't know who to trust, right? Diph Theed.
I think Calcutta can be very convincing, especially if she's finally with her own kind who understand her. And to be frank, her cause is not unintelligent or it is.
It's not without reason. I agree. I agree. What is driving Calcutta and the Drow is understandable.
So what's one step ahead of that? At least one step ahead of that.
There's something to be said for doing what your enemy doesn't expect. And that's to sending a friend.
I think it has to be a bit more than that. I think you're right. But I think it has to be a bit more specific.
We could keep information from her. We could send her with a message.
That still feels like step two to me. What's one step ahead of her knowing that we will try to use her in some way for our own benefit? It's perhaps that we let go of that and we say, genuinely, go.
Yeah.
Be with your people. And the only hope that we can hold out is that we can bring her something from the Lodestar, something of the Sky Children, something perhaps that we unlock about my past because she knew who I was immediately. And that's the only thing that's going to bring her back to us.
We'll plant a seed,
Yes.
just like Uggo.
But her intentions, I think, have to be honest.
We can't ask her to be a spy for us, I'm not saying that. And I don't think we should, I don't want to put her in that position. So we send her, and we let the chips fall where they may, but I know that I know of no other alternative that makes sense.
I think you're right. We talk to Torvald and figure out exactly how much she knows about the natural order. Because if she can get all of the information from the natural order, then that's really not going to be the smartest move.
I don't think does, but yes, you're right. Let's be certain. Let's come on, and I'll lead us back towards where Torvald was, which was back, towards Uggo's war chief tent.
Do you tell people where you're going, or do you guys just?
Yeah,
I guess, we're not hiding it from each that we're heading back.
You want to link up?
Yes.
Go to Torvald?
You're going to Torvald.
Yes. We're going
I would like to come with you.
Please.
We should all go, should we not?
Yes, please. We need to start making final arrangements. Is there anything else before we leave?
We are not talking about the elephant in the room. And Uggo is usually the one that always points it out, and I guess this time it will have to be me. He is not going to survive. And I point at Uggo.
He will.
No.
We'll protect him. And the Candle Queen will protect him.
No, it is not the same.
Well, we
that's
won't
not
get in
the
the same
same.
situations that we were in before.
We need to do something extra. We cannot just let him continue to be who he is in this form. He will get killed. He cannot be on the front line, not without protection.
I used to say the same thing about you when you would sneak off and go away without us.
Yes, and now I am saying it about you.
What did Uggo do every time you go and run without us?
You would hunt me down and try to protect me.
Not always. I learned to trust you.
We're going to have to make some adjustments. I agree, Civ. We can't act as if everything is the same as it was. It certainly
He
isn't.
sacrificed everything for this place.
Yes.
What has it given him? Huh?
Would you not for Olsvach?
Not like this, no.
I do not believe that for a moment. I think you would give everything for your friends there.
What's done is done.
You would give everything for your friends here, yes? You have said so before. This is not my only family, Civ. That is what Uggo has learned. Thorn is family. This world, Civ. It is our family.
And we are the chosen ones, are we not?
I don't know about any of that.
I'm not one for prayer. Normally.
You should.
But
Good for you.
I do think you were given power by a deity. Through a deity. And now you have given the most wonderful, extreme sacrifice. You're not just going to get taken out like a housefly.
Well, I don't know if you have any evidence to suggest that is not the case. I am sure if I met a very giant demon housefly alone, it would probably take me out.
That might be true. But I think there'd be a good chance of revival.
Oh, I would not go down without a fight. And that's what I'm saying, Civ. I may be weak, but I am not a baby!
Well, why don't we come to some kind of compromise, right? Why don't we equip Uggo with some kind of magical armor or more weapons? Yes.
I have belt, I have maul, I am fine.
Well, also perhaps in Turles we can find more for Uggo.
Take the belt.
The sword.
She takes off the belt. Take the belt.
You feel like I could.
You seem like you lost a bit of weight, right? Yes, a bit of muscle mass. Your trousers are dropping a bit. Here, take it. You need it.
Uggo looks at everyone else.
Take it. If you
put it on.
If you grow out of it, you can give it back to her.
You have to promise me.
Huh?
If you find yourself in a dire situation, you just tunnel, all right? Don't try to be a hero. This is the compromise, all right?
Oh,
You just go down like a mole, and you hide. I'm serious.
How about
But I can't-
Wolverine? More like Wolverine. Dig like Wolverine.
A badger.
Wolverine.
We'll just a compromise. Just go a badger.
Badger good.
The Badger Paladin subclass.
Wait, wouldn't I be a gnome then? Anyway.
What you did was heroic, Uggo, but Civ does have a point. So I really am serious when I'm saying I don't want you to be a hero for a little bit. Okay?
Fine.
I want you to live.
Okay.
I love you.
Love you too. Uggo is trying to learn new ways. And giving in to valid points is one.
And I'll point at the orcs around. Look at them.
Oh,
though. Look
I
at them.
have yeah. Oh, yeah. Now I have to think about staying alive for them too. Oh, so many people Uggo need Uggo.
But look at how different they are. Look at how it feels around here. Yes, what you did was dangerous and risky, and we'll have to protect you, and we'll have to be safer and adjust the way we do things. But I think what you did today was incredible. Thorn is in a very dangerous position, but they're a bit safer now.
They were alone. No, they are not alone.
Yeah.
Do not be mad at me, Civ.
I'm not mad.
That does not sound true to me. You seem mad at me.
I'm worried for you, my friend.
That I have never seen from you before.
That is because before you were much tougher.
You want to wrestle? I'll show you. I may be weaker, but I still can take you down.
If you say so.
Come on.
I have an idea.
What?
It hit Uggo while thinking about all these things. What is happening to Diph Theed?
Yes?
Must also have happened to Calcutta Theed, yes?
Yes.
She is not in same situation as Diph Theed is currently. No? Fahima?
Well, none of the Drow were.
Yeah. So it's fixable.
Hopefully.
The curse. Well, yes, you're right. We have seen Calcutta
Civ.
Theed up and about.
Civ, do you have scroll of remove curse?
I gave it to Fahima.
Fahima,
right.
you should use it on Diph Theed.
Good idea.
It's worth a try. Absolutely.
Do you disagree?
It
Fahima?
may just...
Better to try than not at all.
I'm just not.
Cannot be left here in this way.
I'm just getting flashbacks of Zanelka. And how she was offended. It wasn't a curse.
I don't...
I thought you were about to say you like Diph Theed's haircut.
I do, but not in that
Which I
way.
would
You
not
do?
blame you. She has very nice haircut.
Not in the way that I like. I like Zanelka's haircut.
It's possible that the what we saw when Diph Theed was sucked back down onto the ground, that is the curse specifically. But the Drow nature might... Maybe that's more permanent. Can I make an Arcana check, Jeff, or something to maybe... Is there anything that we would have seen to have discerned exactly what the nature of maybe her curse might be? I'd just be guessing. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think that you would be able to discern that. No.
It's worth a shot. We've had that scroll for quite a while, and we haven't used it.
And I would say that Diph Theed's life and freedom is worth any piece of paper.
But who's to say what is right and what is wrong? Why is the Drow not her true nature?
I don't.
Well, she doesn't seem very
If Drow
happy.
is her true nature, and we remove Curse, then she will be her true nature.
He's right.
I don't know if I believe that. What if she goes and lives with the Drow, her fellow kind, and that's what drops it. That's what helps her. It's being with her own kind. I'm all for giving her the remove curse, but I don't want to take away her choice.
You're not
Calcutta
suggesting
Theed.
we should.
Calcutta Theed, we've seen as a Drow walking around above ground. It's possible that her Drow nature is not the curse of which she's speaking. That is irreversible. Sky children become Drow when they are fallen, so to speak. I don't mean it that way, but you know what I mean. And so, but the being held underground, being held unable to leave, might be the curse.
Seems like prison.
Yeah, and that I say we absolutely should try to remove.
Yes.
I don't disagree with you about reuniting you with her people. I'm not saying that, but I also don't think removing the curse is going to do that. Is going to turn her from a Drow back into a Sky Child. I somehow doubt that.
And I suppose if we keep it from her,
Then who are we?
it does take away her agency of the choice of going to the Drow in the first place.
Absolutely.
She should have more clarity of mind,
Yes.
if
I
possible.
think Diph Theed has been brainwashed in a way. I don't think she's in any state to make a decision, honestly, right now. She feels very lost to me.
I'm going to sound like a bad person when I say it. I'm just throwing it out there. If there was any shot of her being on the inside, this would take it away. Because James and I talked it through. If she has no knowledge, if she feels as though she is forced to go there to undo what has been done,
I disagree.
I think that's the only
I don't
way that
think
she's
we
going
should
to get
send
through.
her to the Ashen Mage.
At all?
No.
Well, that's where the Drow are.
Well, I know. I think she has too much information.
Well, that's why we're going to go talk to Torvald, because you might be right about that. And I'm not saying we should send her as an agent. What we were thinking is, if we send her as an agent, there's absolutely no way we're going to come out right in that situation. The Ashen Mage will know, no matter what.
I think this is a conversation for Torvald.
Yeah.
Diph Theed.
Torvald and Diph Theed, yes.
Yes.
But first to Torvald.
I'm assuming we make our way to Torvald.
Yes.
All right, so you go back to the residence where Torvald has been sort of hiding out and waiting for you to make a decision. You had mentioned to him that you wanted to go back to Turles. He has been waiting patiently in the residence. As you get back to the city and you head back up to that big gaping blast hole that marks the entrance of the war chief's residence.
Makes it easy to find.
Certainly does. Certainly
Yes.
does. You are able to find Torvald, who is meditating quietly in the corner.
Is it just Torvald? Is Lesliana there? Or just Torvald?
No, she is not back in the residence at this point. No.
Okay.
I can let Lesliana know that when we're leaving, and that she and her people will have to remain in charge of our animals.
You want to talk to her before I leave.
Okay. Torvald.
Yes. It is good to see you. Are you ready to make your way back to the city?
Just about, yes. The most important thing that we've just been discussing is how to leave Diph Theed and where to leave her, to be honest. we're curious. She says she's cursed. And we're willing to try and remove this curse, but I'm not quite sure we know what state that will leave her in afterwards. She is asked to be sent to those she sees as her people, to the Drow. But we know that doing so would literally send her right into the arms of the Ashen Mage. It's a risky proposition, to say the least.
It is indeed.
But
She is also mentally unwell. She is sick.
But we don't necessarily have a solution for that, and leaving her underground, which is what the alternative is right now, is only going to make matters worse.
Have you witnessed her behavior?
Not to the extent that you have expressed it. Of course, we were imprisoned separately when we were here. So, it is possible that I have not seen the extent to which she has declined.
Let us show you.
You knew of the. You knew of the. Sorry. Yes, I agree. You knew of the Sky Children, though. Did you know that they turned into the Drow when fallen to Earth?
It is the one thing that we all know of the Sky Children. They are never to touch the ground. Whether it be curse or cultural choice, we weren't sure, but now, of course, it seems to be clear.
We've seen the Ashen Mage above ground, walking around. She's attacked us several times from above ground. So it's hard to tell whether this grasping earth thing that's happened to Diph Theed is temporary, is solvable. I don't know, but
Have you ever seen another Sky Child fall?
No, never. But, Fahima, you say you spent time with the Ashen Mage.
Yes, that's correct.
What was her connection to the Drow?
They were her people. She was keeping them safe.
Just keeping them safe?
Well, she wanted to bring them back up.
So, she had means to bring them up.
Or at least... Well, she had means of teleportation circle, I suppose.
She had a plan.
I wasn't aware of the plan. What is your point?
Only that if she had figured it out for herself, maybe she intended to do it at a large scale.
Perhaps it wasn't safe yet.
I do not think whatever afflicts the Sky Children can simply be dispelled by mortal magic. And I could be wrong, but this seems to be something grander indeed.
We do plan to try a remove curse spell on her so that she has a bit more agency, but one of the solutions that we discussed was she did express interest when I brought it up of going to live with the other Drow. But of course that would put us in great danger. How much does she know about the natural order?
I suppose I've spoken a bit about it, but as you know, by design, the natural order is quite secretive even amongst its members.
But you and Diph Theed were quite close?
In the short time we were together, yes.
What is your opinion of how dangerous it would be to send her in? Purely so that she can be with her own kind. Not as an inside communication for us.
She's digging in the earth with her bare hands right now, trying to get to them.
I have said this before. You are the amulet bearers. There is a reason this gift, this burden, this opportunity has landed on your shoulders.
And he turns and looks at Lily.
Literally on your shoulders. I cannot make these decisions for you. It is your responsibility. There are risks, of course, and there are potential advantages.
Would it put your life at risk?
My life has been at risk. I don't know if you remember, but I was in a prison for quite a while.
We can tell her we don't have to tell her where we're going. We could send
Well,
her.
she's in a good mental state to be put in the hands of the Ashen Mage.
Lily, what's the alternative?
I don't know, but I don't feel good about that. Sending someone who is clearly going through trauma into a highly manipulative person's hands?
It's either
That doesn't feel kind.
She'd be left alone in the Underfury, in the dark.
I'm not saying we forget about her. I'm just saying I don't think that's smart.
But we have to. Where we're going, we have. You know better than anyone what our agenda is.
Yes.
That's what I was trying to say earlier, but perhaps failing to do so, is that we cannot send her with any intentions of her being our friend, of her being good, of her not becoming potentially part of the Cabal. If we send her, it has to be.
If there was a third option, I'd be all for listening to it. I just don't see one.
The Ashen Mage will instantly sniff out any other intentions, but I think if we have genuine intentions of just sending her in to be at the Drow, I think it could be better than digging a hole in the
You've
ground
seen
forever.
the other Drow, Fahima?
Well, not technically, because I had a bag over my head, but...
Were they happy?
They weren't unhappy. But it didn't seem like it was a lively civilization down there. I think they were just trying their best, doing work that was set out for them.
I don't know. That doesn't seem like a life to send someone to.
Well, look. Wave your magic wand, Lily. What would you want to happen?
Well, I'd want her curse to be removed.
And if the curse doesn't break?
I don't know.
If you could have anything, what would it be?
If she's still cursed?
If she's still cursed.
I would find a place where she feels happy. I would maybe find some Drow, but not the ones led by the Ashen Mage. There has to be another option other than just the Ashen Mage or nothing at all.
So do you think it's worth leaving her there until we come across more Drow? It's a possibility, but seems low.
It does.
And
I
where
think otherwise we're sending her to a miserable life. Either way, it's miserable, I guess, right now. But
where she feels happiest is digging her hole, unfortunately.
Mm-hmm.
It would be a kindness. That's what I keep coming back to.
I disagree with that, but
to the
I understand
alternative?
how you say that. I do.
Diph, what do you think?
You don't want to know.
I do.
No.
I would not ask if I did not want to know.
You will not like the answer.
I do not care. I want to know.
Are you going to say kill her?
I imagine. Uggo has thought of it.
I was not going to say kill her. But in Olswatch, when someone is weak and sick, They are very easy to recruit. You bring them into the gang, you ask them to do something for you, they do it, and then they have to swear allegiance after that. And at that point, you are stuck. You are in the gang. You cannot go anywhere else.
But this is the thing. Look at the evidence that we have. We have Vic, who is good in her core. We have
And
Yon
she
Mo.
died.
But
She
we have,
died.
We have Yon Mo, who we know is good in his core.
Is he?
Was.
I think so. I think he
Not
still
anymore.
could be. I
Not
think he still
anymore.
could be.
I don't agree.
Well, I might be a silly romantic, but I do think that he could still be good on the inside.
I believe that could happen, Civ. I see that point, but I also say that when you leave someone alone who is unhappy and feels they trust no one and have no friends, that person becomes an enemy. And we can't just keep her on ice. And we can't just hold her there in a prison, basically, for months.
Last time I
Either
checked,
way is a
there
prison.
are priests, there are shamans, there are druids nearby. Last time I checked, there is an entire city of orcs that owe allegiance to Uggo. Last time I checked, we have a lot of resources that we are not using at all.
When
And
did
you want
check
to
last?
you want to give her over to someone who could possibly use her against us? It's not wise.
I think she would remember the kindness. That's what I hope.
I think she would remember that the reason that she is not in the sky anymore is because of us and the wardens.
That's not true. It's because of Ertenfurt.
I didn't say it was untrue. But the first time she met us, it was after she fell from the sky. And that is what I would use to manipulate her to my side. I would twist her around my finger, and I would make her my stooge, my pawn. At the very least, I would use her as a hostage, so that when we show up, I would put a dagger to her throat and say, you either do what I say or I kill her in front of you.
Yes, that is true. She will be used as, I believe Mama say word is collateral.
Well, it seems this is what's going to happen. We should try the remove curse spell. We want to give her the agency to make the decision herself. I have asked her what she wants to do. I have given her a choice. And her choice was to stay underground. Now, I think if the curse isn't broken,
She doesn't have a choice of staying underground, but I get your point.
we either do as she has said that she wants, which is to leave her underground, or we make the decision for her, and we have to live with that. And I think we should just put it to a vote when it gets to that time, because we have to move on. Shall we? Torvald, would you like to come with us?
If you would like my presence, I will.
Please.
It is not a place that I enjoy revisiting, having spent more than a lifetime's worth of time down there.
Well, you don't have to.
You should.
Just the whole thing.
We won't stay there for long, but you should come with us. You should
As
see
you
her.
wish.
Please.
All right. Fahima leads everybody down to Diph Theed.
All right. So you move down into the Underfury once again, that once slick, wet corridor that leads you down, now dry and barren. You move down this rocky ramp leading to the Underfury, that first chamber with that standing water. Even in this short period of time, that little standing water seems to have dried a bit. The moisture from that ancillary chamber seeping out, no longer maintained. And as you walk down this dried, rocky ramp into the antechamber there, again you are faced with the back. She seems to be sitting halfway down inside a pit of her own creation, clawing at the ground, digging at the ground. She does not acknowledge you when you enter the room.
Diph
Has
Theed?
anything else changed, Jeff? Anything else at all?
Well, since you've been down here, you noticed that all of the little accoutrement, the niceties that Lily had tried to establish to make the place more palatable for Diph Theed have been smashed and broken and taken down.
Diph Theed? Hello again. Sorry to bother you.
She does not respond.
I was wondering if we might revisit our conversation we had about staying here or going to the other Drow.
You just see her shoulders moving in this manner that seems to communicate the fact that she's continuing to dig in the ground.
Yeah, Uggo's gonna cast Detect Magic.
Okay.
Does Diph Theed appear magical?
Not in the sense of having a school of magic that you would be able to detect, no.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Bahima will start to take the scroll out of her belongings.
Okay. You find it.
Diph Theed.
Are we doing this?
Yes.
Let's
do
ask
it.
her. Can we ask her first?
Diph Theed? Do you mind if I try this remove curse spell on you? Do you mind if I just touch your shoulder? It might make you feel better.
She stops digging for a moment and then resumes.
Diph Theed, you told me that you wanted to keep digging, and when I offered you the choice to go to the Drow, you said that you wanted to go to the Drow, but you couldn't make up your mind. We only want what's best for you.
And she
Please?
stops immediately, having heard that. And she turns and she looks back at you with fire in her eyes. And then she slowly turns back and starts digging again.
We only want what's best for you.
I told you what I wanted. You made your choice.
No choices were made. Just needed to think on it for a bit. Please.
Scratching sound of her nails on rock is
Alright.
harsh to your ears.
She unfurls the scroll and begins to cast. And I believe I have to touch her. Yes, I will have to come touch her.
Okay. You approach, reciting the scroll as holding it in one hand, and you reach out the other hand. As you reach the end of the incantation, reading aloud from the scroll, and you place your hand on her shoulder. She reaches up and grabs your hand hard. And you feel the scroll begin to activate. And the edge of the parchment upon which it is written starts to crinkle and shrink, consumed by the end of the incantation. The parchment itself used up in the casting. And you feel the arcane energies flowing through you from the parchment itself out through your fingertips into her shoulder. She holds onto your hand tight. And nothing happens.
Well.
Feel her fingernails dig into the back of your hand. Hard, the heat from your Genasi skin radiating into her hand, and you feel bits of blood from her fingertips having scraped against the rock trickle down your thumb over your fingertips.
Jeff, I cast Detect Thoughts on Diph Theed.
Okay. It is a maelstrom inside her mind. A swirling maelstrom of resentment and anger. There is
resentment for who?
The person touching her, the people in this place. There is this overwhelming sensation to get out. Leave me.
Diph Theed. It didn't work.
Of course it didn't, you naive fool!
She starts digging again. She releases your hand and starts scraping at the rock.
Diph Theed, please tell us what you want.
So you cannot listen to me again?
James, Civ, Uggo, Lily, are we going to do what she wants or not?
Vote time.
Okay. Whatever she says, we'll do. That's the vote.
Torvald gets a vote.
Yes.
Whatever she says or whatever we say.
Let's vote that yes, we will fulfill her wishes. Or no, we will not fulfill her wishes and do what we want. Because that really is the choice here.
Okay.
And look around. Because this is where she'll be staying while we figure something out.
I know, James, but you have to remember that if she goes to the Ashen Mage, she will be used as a pawn there. So while
She
this
stays
feels
here. Continue. Sorry.
No, it's okay. I'm just saying neither option is good.
No.
That's true.
I agree.
I'm saying this is the one we can see, so it seems like the worst.
But the one...
But I think that the one she goes to is not much different.
Sending her there is the only option that has any hope that I see.
I agree.
I vote yes.
Well, then it's not a vote.
Well, still a vote. I vote. We do as she wishes.
Okay.
I also vote we do as she wishes. Civ?
I will be the one that kills her when she turns on us. I vote no. She doesn't get to go.
Lily?
Matter what I say?
It does, because it's 6 votes.
I don't think we should send her. Personally, I think we're sending her to her doom. And I would hope that we would find a way to release her from this before she's in the grasps of the Ashen Mage. But I understand that fulfilling her wishes seems like a good idea too. I just don't think it is.
Torvald?
I do not like any of this. I abstain.
Should we ask the amulet?
It is 3 versus 2.
There.
Seems like it is pretty clear. I am done with this, and I turn and walk out.
Diph Theed, if you wish, we will do our best to send you where you want to go, bring you with us, or leave you here. But the choice is yours. What's not an option?
She can't come with us. It's impossible.
I told you what I wanted the last time we spoke.
Can you please repeat it?
You said you could send me. You said you had the power. Then you chose not to use it.
I don't typically use that kind of power without conferring with my party. I don't make those kind of choices alone. I try not to, anyway.
Bahima, start drawing the circle. And I will go down.
She nods her head. She starts to cast the spell.
And I will... It takes a minute, yes? I will...
Yes?
Go over to Diph Theed, and I will lean down and look at her. The only thing that saved me are friends. And being alone is the worst curse imaginable. So we are trying to be your friends by sending you to others who know what you're going through. Because that's the only solution that I can come up with that makes any sense. And so
do not forget, who we are sending you to is the reason you touch the ground.
Uggo's right. And do not forget that we do this because we are your friends. And I hope, I pray, that when we meet again, we do so as friends. And I give that hope to you.
I'm just gonna walk up to her, Jeff, before the teleportation circle ends, and I'm not gonna say anything, but Lily will just touch her on her shoulder and cast Cure Wounds, just so she feels a little bit of health from Lily, and gently squeeze it lovingly, and then walk away.
Having felt that, she leans forward to where James had leaned down. She leans into you very close, James.
Friends, you are a demon. I smell it on your skin. And you talk to me of friends.
I hope my actions speak louder than my smell. Goodbye.
The portal opens. As Fahima swirls her hands, the runic shapes that you had traced inside the Ashen Mage's lair taking shape in the air around the edge of the portal.
I'll
And
reach
Diph
out
Theed looks at all of you.
and I'll hold Fahima and Lily's hands as we watch. If they'll allow it.
I consent.
And without another word, Diph Theed steps forward into the portal.
Fahima immediately drops it. She's not waiting for that 6 seconds.
And there is silence in the Underfury.
One more seed planted today. Let's hope it grows into something good. Can we leave, please?
Don't think we can assume that's gonna grow into anything good, but we can leave. If we can find Civ.
Worried about him.
2.
Arju can make a portal. If you'd like.
Mm-hmm. Uggo, is there anything else you'd like to do before we go?
Yes, I want to speak to Lesliana.
Okay. I'll pull out my
Should
bow.
not take me long.
I'll pull out my book. And would you like to meet her here or at the gates?
I'll meet her at the gates.
All right. I will cast Sending to Lesliana using my tome. And Lesliana, please. We're leaving Thorn to head back to Turles. You and your people will have to look after our animals. Please do so. I hope that's not too big a burden, but Uggo would very much like to say goodbye to you if you can meet us at the portal if you can meet us at the gates of Thorn within an hour.
And as that script is written into your book, it disappears right behind it, and a new script appears. And it says, "We will care for your animals to the best of our ability. I will meet Uggo at the time you designated. Be safe." And that's all.
All right, gather your things.
Fahima's gonna pull Lily into a hug before they leave the lake. Hey, I'm sorry.
Why are you sorry?
I'm really sorry. Well, we were on opposing sides of the vote, and you made really good points, and it didn't go your way, and I'm sorry.
You don't need to be sorry. That's how votes work. We're not always gonna all agree.
Well, you had great points.
Thanks.
And a great heart.
So do you. You don't need to apologize for having an opinion, Fahima. I know you had to just make a hard decision. It's okay.
Okay.
Thank you for saying that.
Mm-hmm. She pulls away and the girls walk out.
Girls walk out.
And the girls walk out.
Story of my life.
There's like a little like fireball that she casts behind her.
Uggo, you make your way to the gates at the time you mentioned, and you wait there for a moment until slowly out of the edge of the brush you see a wolf with auburn and gray fur, the same one that had been on the outskirts of all the activities of the last couple of days. And as it moves out of the tree line, you see it start to change, start to morph, its paws extending and fur receding, and the body of a humanoid growing up and out. You see Lesliana standing there in front of you.
I always liked it when you were a wolf.
I know. You are war chief now, Uggo.
Yes.
Fascinating. I never thought it would be possible, frankly.
I'll go neither. Mama.
I watched you slay Brakka.
Yes.
I will note it down.
Did you see the trees?
Beautiful.
I love you, Mama, but there's one thing I learned from you. I mean, there's many things I learned from you, but the one that seems to be... Maybe Uggo can teach you. Observation is very good. I have learned this. You have taught me. Watching, being careful, think clearly. Not always good at it. But I am trying and getting better. Mama, what do you know of Urtenfurt? Do not lie to me, please.
I would never lie. He is brilliant,
Yes.
shrewd,
Yes.
dangerous.
Indeed.
I admired him for a time. That mind. Do you intend to find him?
Yes.
His weakness, of course, is ego. One thing I admire in you, Uggo, is your lack of ego. Your selflessness. On display today, it seems.
Yes. Will you do me a favor?
Of course.
Watch the Thorn Orcs.
It is my sworn duty.
Yes, but more than that, Mama. Help them. Teach them, like you taught Uggo. Gurk. Teach Gurk. If there is ever an orc who could use some observation skill, it is him.
Uggo, you know my solemn vows.
Do. But look around you, Mama. You make that vow. No one else is making the vow. No one else. They are doing the opposite.
Perhaps
There's one
if more
thing
did.
Uggo has learned. If I do nothing, then the evil win.
Uggo, when I found you, with blood on your hands, weak, dying, poisoned, I knew that it was not my place to save you, to take you in. I saw an opportunity to learn, but it conflicted with my stance.
Why did you not leave Uggo to die?
For a time, I thought it was because I knew the opportunity to learn was so immense. But that is not the truth. The truth is that I felt something for you in that moment, and still feel it today. The truth, Uggo, is that there is no such thing as staying out of it, as being impartial. There is no such thing as observation without participation. We test, and we learn. And that theory has been fully tested in my time here. And what I have learned is that I care what happens to you, to the Orcs of Thorn, and to Ein. You gave something of yourself today. And I would be remiss if I did not honor that sacrifice
with my own renewed commitment, I will fight for Ein. I will help the Orcs of Thorn in any way I can.
Uggo hugs her. I knew you would see it. I knew it. And he puts it down. I'm sorry.
It is okay. I liked it. Uggo, you are weaker than you were. I hope you see that.
I do.
I need you to be careful.
Sound like Sev.
He seems to have interpreted the data correctly.
He was pretty smart. Not always wise, though.
You are a leader now. Your life is greater than just you.
Yes.
Perhaps it always was. I disagreed with Torvald for all these years. But perhaps he was right.
Uggo looks around. You might not want to tell him that, though.
Oh, I never will.
Okay. I'll keep your secret for you. Mama, I am leaving. I'm going to Turles.
Filthy place.
Yes. Uggo is wanted for crimes that he did not commit. And there is someone in jail who made this. And I feel bad for letting him rot there.
I trust you will do what you must.
Yes.
And you will follow your heart, as you always do. But do not forget to listen to your head as well.
You have taught me that. Why do you think what happened today happened? Thank you, Mama, for saving me. Thank you for observing and learning and growing. None of this would have happened had you not found me and made the choice. Uggo knows this. I will never forget.
Nor I. A mind unwilling to adapt to new data is a wasted mind. I have duties to attend to.
Can I
Safe
have
travels.
one more hug before I leave?
It would please me.
And he opens his arms, but does not approach her.
She opens her arms and takes 2 steps forward
He'll
and
meet her
then
in
grasps him. And as she
hug chicken.
As she holds him, you feel her skin start to grow fur, and her body start to change and shrink. And in your arms, she becomes a wolf. And then she bounds away.
Turn.
That's where we'll end
Also-
tonight.
Yeah, yeah, okay.
We can't get through the portal.
Cannot get to Turles.
I'm ready to go. I said an hour. I'm ready to go.
We're ready to go now for sure.
Well, tune
So
in next
officially
week.
tied up all the loose ends.
Tune
I was
in
gonna
next
say.
week.
Blame yourself, Kanata, for giving us all these loose ends.
Tune in next week for Turles, we promise.
Is that going to be the name of the episode next week?
Turles, we promise.
This one's called The Girls Walk Out.
The girls walk out. Every week I send an email to the lovely ladies that do our music, Heather and Leah, and I say, maybe this week they go to Turles. They promised me.
I'm sure that's a joke for them at this point. An inside joke.
They're like,
Hey,
"What's
what are you
talking
doing
to
tomorrow
do?"
night? Do you want to go to Turles? Maybe.
I feel a lot
wanna go
better
to
about leaving
Moscow.
Thor now. I feel a lot better about leaving Thor
Yeah.
now than I did at the beginning of this episode.
No.
I say I feel better, but
Right.
Well, it feels
but I also don't.
it feels like we did what we didn't do in Allsvatch, you know?
Agreed.
Yeah. Well, thank you for being with us. We will be back next week. The final tally, it looks like, of the Force War update, Tug of War, is Team Force of Good, 37%. Team Force of Evil, 63%, which means
Oh my god.
It was time.
Force of Evil will be in effect next
It was
week. Thank you
time.
to everybody that gifted us those delightful balloons, the potatoes and yams. We are certainly grateful for that generosity. We also appreciate our patrons at patreon.com/thedungeonrun. There are a number of different tiers that you can support the show. I've been very late this month with my DM tier, the Amulet Keeper tier with stat sheet. I promise I'm going to work on that tomorrow and Friday, and you will see that in your inbox as a patron very, very soon. But you get cool stat sheets of creatures that the team has fought over their time in Ayn directly from me, and insights into how I use them. You get secrets from the cast. It's really, really cool. All kinds of stuff. But at the topmost tier, well, actually not the topmost tier. Do we still have a Chrono Dragon? I think
We
might
do.
Oh, we do.
References
Dragon.
needed.
No references needed. Oh my god! Or references
Incredible.
References needed.
needed.
Yes.
Does not need references as far as I'm concerned.
Nope.
Thank you. That level
No
of
resume
generosity,
required.
off the charts.
His
Unbelievable.
Chrono Dragon
Thank
has
you.
gotten him 6 solid references on any job.
I hope so, yeah.
Call
We
me.
will
I'll call
vouch
us. Yeah,
for you.
yeah.
But also the tier right below that, the 2 tiers right before that are Team Force of Good and Team Force of Evil. And the promise at those tiers is that we will read off your names at the end of each episode. But we don't just read them off. No. We make a game out of it. You can submit, as patrons, you can submit suggestions for ways in which the cast, themes in which the cast will read off the names. And we got a whole bunch of new recommendations this week. which I'm super excited about. So we
Excited
are
sauce
going
here.
to do that right now. Let's roll a die and find out who will be reading the Team Force of Good names. It's a 3.
Oh, me again.
Morgan.
Morgan. All right, so let me find it. That's not where I put it.
To be fair, Jeff's on like his 4th setup.
I know. This computer just crashed again.
I've been told that our stuff will be here tomorrow. So hopefully next week. That is my goal, dear viewer, is to have a not terrible setup.
Maybe they
next
sent
week.
it to Turles. Maybe if you go to Turles, you can get your stuff there.
That's what it is.
Yeah, they portaled your computer to Turles.
Natural order moving is the
Yeah.
worst.
Listen, Jeff, I'll let you get your stuff, but you're gonna lose 7 levels.
Oh no!
Turnabout
Would
is
you make
fair
that
play.
sacrifice, buddy? Would you?
Still.
I mean,
letter
at this point, for
episode.
my stuff, yes, I absolutely would.
Exactly.
Turnabout is fair play. All right, so this comes to us. Actually, both of them this week come to us from the same submitter. Where is it? It is Carlos Hurtado. Oh, amazing artist, Carlos Hurtado.
Carlos.
With both of the suggestions this week, the Team Force of Good will be read by Mr. Morgan Peter Brown in the style of a World Cup soccer final as narrated by someone who doesn't know anything about soccer.
Yes.
I know
so
a
good.
little about soccer. I'm watching Ted Lasso. Does that help? No, just kidding. Okay.
Maybe.
All right. Welcome to the pitch. Is that what they call it? The grassy place. I'm told the pitch is a thing for a new game of round ball kicky. The two countries playing today are a green and red country. I'm just gonna call them Armando 89 versus a orangish mauve, I guess. Hadrian X. Yes, Hadrian X versus Armando 89, and the person standing in the front, whose back of his jersey says Wilbro Jr. Sure, that's a weird name for a jersey, but he kicks the round ball across the grassy place, and it is caught. Oh, they can use their hands here. The person Fenderil, I'm told is their name, catches it with his hands. I didn't know that was a thing in round ball kicky. And uses his hand.
It's called the goalie.
I'm being told it's a goalie. That's a thing. I'm not certain, but he has thrown it. I guess that's allowed too. To Moo Cow, who is also running. Is running very far. There's a lot of running in this game. Are we sure that there's supposed to be this much running? And passes it. Oh, did a very impressive move where he used his right foot and then his left foot and kicked it to an entire family, the Gold family. A brother, a sister, and several other children running through the grass, running towards the other side where the other goalie, was it? Goalie, yes. Goalie, yes, where the other goalie is waiting, and I guess will probably also try to use his hands to catch it. And just Jules, the other goalie, does catch the ball. The ball is then, punted. Punting is a thing. Well, just drops and kicks it. And someone used Kitty Scritches used their head to hit it? No, that just doesn't seem... What are the rules to this game? But then it bounces off the chest of the dungeon run, yay! I've been hearing people in the crowds yelling Braba and the dungeon run, yay! Braba, dungeon run, yay! I guess that means something. I don't know what it means. Maybe they're players. And then
it's called cheering. It's cheering.
Cheering. Yeah. Speaking loudly is what it's called. My family never did that. We kept it at a very nice... Anyway, moving on. Let's see. The team doctor is out. No. Someone wearing striped shirt is holding up a yellow card. I don't know what that means.
It's a referee.
It's a referee is saying that Mr. Cold Candor did something. He seems to be talking to him very sternly. That referee's name is Bob Harris, I believe, and Mr. Cold Candor looks quite unhappy with this yellow card. I mean, it looks like a pretty, not a very interesting gift. Moving on. Anyway, and we're back into the action, and let's kick around. Ojito, who has the number 17, is kicking it down and passes it off. To Mickey Wolf. Mickey Wolf, who also seems to fell on her back and kicked it into the goal. There is a lot of celebrating now. It got very loud in here. Can we? Ow! It's very loud. They're shouting "Poo monkey, poo monkey." I can't quite understand it, but they seem to be very happy. At least half of the stadium seems to be very happy.
It's called a goal. They got a goal.
A goal. Right. The other team, whose name is called Your Past Decisions, seems quite unhappy about this goal. I don't know. I don't know how this is going to go. But then there's more passing down in the field, and they seem very dazed and confused as someone else uses their head. I think I'm really getting the hang of this. I think I'm getting the hang of this. My co-host Dawnbreaker 1990, could you please tell me what's this game called again?
Sorry for leaving you on break for so long. I'm back. How'd it go?
Oh, okay. Thank goodness. Dawnbreaker 1990 is back, and take it away, Miss Breaker.
Okay, let's get into this.
Thank God, I have no idea what I'm doing.
That was my favorite one. It was so good.
Whatever. Yeah, that was fantastic.
Kicky round ball.
And you know what?
Round ball, kicky.
Round ball, kicky.
If it was like that, I think I'd watch more soccer.
Especially if it was
just
called
a chaotic
round ball,
announcer constantly narrating every move of the soccer game.
Call me, Manchester. I'm available.
All right. I just rolled a 2.
How am I gonna follow that? Oh my god!
You can just
this
describe
is
the rules of American football.
also submitted by Carl
Legitimately
Hurtado.
would not know what they were.
This is as a teenager gossiping and deciding who to invite to their birthday party.
Oh, okay.
Hello.
Hey girl.
Hey.
So the party's coming up and I want it to be like very exclusive, you know, like something a little like highbrow for what this school is seen.
Yeah, like we're 13 now.
Yes. And you know what? It's time that we become the women we were always meant to be, and that means exclusivity, VIP.
Yeah.
Change box. Huh? Change box.
That's like the theme of the party. Yeah.
Yeah, everybody has to dress up as their favorite kind of money.
Yes, I'm down to clown. I mean, whatever. Down to clown is what kids
Down
say.
to clown. Yeah,
I'm
so let's make
J-Rock.
that a thing.
Okay.
Yeah, I love that. And
Okay,
okay, so I was thinking, Gorgon played. I know he's in high school, but I think if we have a high schooler at the party, it's gonna like really up the ante. You know what I mean?
Also, could technically be a chaperone.
I mean, and his older brother, the Carson, is technically like 18. I think he just turned 18 like last week, so he could definitely buy us alcohol.
That's such a good idea. Did you hear what he did at the party? He did this thing called Fernando the Jackal.
Oh my God!
Yeah.
Stop! My mom is in the next room.
God, am I on speakerphone?
No, girl, you're not.
Okay, good. Gross. I don't want your mom hearing about that. I would Forest Elf 86 myself right away.
Oh, gross. Okay, so Shiny 8-Bit Boo is coming. I mean, you think?
Yeah.
I mean, I know I've never talked to Shiny 8-Bit Boo, but I really like think that if this is like so VIP, then they'll definitely show up.
They have to, because they only go to parties they're not invited to. So the important thing is don't invite them.
You're a genius. You're a freaking genius.
Oh my God.
I think I'm like nuts. I'm like nuts about this.
Okay, great. Okay, call me a student of Grimm. But I think we should invite Ein Yuden.
Ein Yuden, girl, that's a teacher.
I know, but we have a high schooler, a teacher. It's a multi-generational party, which I think we should make a thing.
Honestly, I think if we had a teacher there, my parents like wouldn't even care.
Right.
Because it'd be like legit.
Because it's like cool to have like 13-year-olds, a high schooler, and a teacher at a party.
Wait,
there are no expendable crewmen.
The end of our show doesn't have to be kid friendly, right?
I'm over here trying to figure out how you're going to get yourself out of it.
I don't think this is not kid friendly. I think this is just a terrible party.
Yeah.
Just people showing up not understanding what the
You just like absolutely.
It's funny because these girls started out making like wanting to make a cool party, and now they're just making the party that their mom would have thrown. Why don't we
Fighting a
invite
teacher.
your teacher?
And we're dressing up as our favorite money? Like, what?
you know, your favorite money.
I'm going to be a euro.
Oh,
That's the end of the list.
Yeah.
It's the party.
You're all invited.
Everybody's invited.
The weird
Not sure I'm
13-year-old
coming to that
party.
party. Not sure.
My favorite money's the nickel.
That's what you should dress up as.
I
You'll be
really
accepted.
want to throw a party now that's called the theme is dress up as your favorite money.
It's called Change Box.
I would go, but I have to Forest Elf 86 myself that night. I'm so sorry.
Well done. Like we said, if you would like to have your name read out as part of this cavalcade of nonsense, check it out. Check out and there's various other options all the way down the list. A whole other show, the Dungeon Cooldown, which is exclusive on video on demand to patrons. Lots of things to check out. Patreon.com/thedungeonrun. Also, to reiterate, the merch store is up. I guess already you've already crashed it in some way. Is it?
There's some shipping stuff that I will be handling this evening.
Yes.
Ron does not get to sleep. He's building the items. He's sewing the clothes.
Yep.
He's boxing and shipping.
Yep.
Flying
And
himself.
modeling.
Yeah.
That's right.
He lost 7 levels of Barbarian tonight and gained 7 levels of UPS.
Well,
All
at
right,
least it's
thanks
an
for
upward
watching.
projection.
It's a new character class.
Indeed. We will be back next week. Until then, humankind.
Oh,
I'm great, Bert.
Mwah.
do a great bird.
It started. It started. It started. 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 As a simple dungeon run. As a simple dungeon run.
Let the dice roll.